Chapter 2170 I Admit Defeat. Chapter 2170 I Admit Defeat. People immediately looked over when someone challenged human race MO again. Although they knew people would eventually challenge human race, they didn't expect it was abyssal race. Yi Mo frowned. He had things to discuss with them, but they wanted his spots. This wasn't the Tao Essence Divine Emperor he was watching, but they would be sure to have conflict. Yi Mo didn't want conflict with the abyssal race, but he had no choice. He got up without hesitation. Don't even dream about taking the human race spots. As for your challenge, I accept. Seeing Yi Mo not ask for abyssal race spots and just accepted the challenge, people on the side were confused. When Demon Race challenged Yi Mo chose to challenge them too and took 5 spots from them. Now that Yi Mo didn't challenge them back, it was really strange. Was it that this Tao Actualization Divine Emperor knew abyssal race was the strongest and didn't dare to anger them too much? Zhongli Huyin was Tao Essence peak stage power. He was from the abyssal race, but he didn't look like one at all. He carried cold chi, but his body was very material. His face was ruddy. He seemed more like a human. When the stage restrictions were activated, he didn't attack immediately and instead looked at Yi Mo and asked, "Is the purple sword you took out before a primordial spirit artifact?" Yi Mo's face sunk. He wanted to connect with the abyssal race, but this didn't mean they could sit on his head. Zhongli, who clearly wanted his Zisu, and thus came to challenge him. This guy was probably scared of Zisu being taken away, but also didn't want to rob something that wasn't a primordial spirit artifact and cause misunderstanding. I can answer the question, but you need to answer my question too. Yi Mo said emotionlessly. Zhongli, who frowned and said in contempt, "What thing do you think you are? You dare to ask me a question? Hurry up and answer. Just because you have a spirit sense cultivation method for sneak attacks doesn't mean you're strong." This arrogant guy that he used spirit sense cultivation method to kill Gongxiang. Realizing this, Yi Mo knew Zhongli, who was the one who ambushed him with spirit sense. No wonder he was so bald to come challenge him. Yi Mo couldn't even be bothered talking. He released Zisu and extended his primary form of realm. When Yi Mo didn't ask for abyssal race spots, Zhongli, who knew that Yi Mo was concerned with him or the abyssal race. He didn't expect the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor, who was scared of his race dare, to attack first. Zhongli, who extended his powerful realm domain. Most of the people at Tao Essence already had somewhat of a realm domain. Meanwhile, Primordial Essence Divine Emperor's realm domain was pretty much formed and almost about to become a realm. Zhongli, who attacked with full power, not holding back. He was going to crush Yi Mo with his domain and let him know that spirit sense cultivation method couldn't ambush everyone. Their realm domains clashed together. Powerful space, ripple spread. Yi Mo's realm domain was completely fine, but Zhongli, whose realm domain had cracks. In just that clash, Zhongli, who was shook. He felt he was too impulsive. Yi Mo's power definitely wasn't just spirit sense ambush. Yi Mo's domain had the primary form of a realm domain. Although Yi Mo's realm domain looked weaker than his, it was much more durable. Purple sword ray fell. A huge white drum suddenly appeared above Zhongli, whose head. Zisu's powerful and vast lethal force was opened a little crack by the drum. Zhongli, who instantly fled from the crack. The purple sword ray struck the drum, and the drum made an ear-piercing cracking sound before turning into hundreds of white beams and disappearing from the stage. On the other side, Zhongli, who looked dazedly at his magic artifact that crumbled in one clash and was speechless. This person definitely wasn't Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. That was Zhongli, whose conclusion. Since they were already fighting, Yi Mo didn't intend to stop. His released Zisu again, and this time it was Sword God Art Falling Mark Sword Rune. Yi Mo had never felt as satisfied as today fighting people with Zisu. Zisu's powerful primordial lethal force completely suppressed the magic artifact of the opponent. It was no longer the situation where his magic artifact was always weaker. A purple sword ray that almost twisted the entire stage smashed down. The divine emperors outside couldn't scan this sword rune with their spirit sense, but the powerful lethal force and tearing chi was visible to the eye. This was no sword rune. This was destructive lethal force. Even Yi Emo was shocked. He even felt that he couldn't control this sword rune. This sword rune was about to hack open the restriction on the stage and tear open this world. A shock lightning appeared in Yi Emo's sea of consciousness. Yi Emo immediately became vigilant. His spirit sense immediately swept the falling mark sword rune, making it pause for a bit. Su had been spirit controlled by him, but Yi Emo still felt that the sword rune was spreading. This made his body go soft. 1 moment later, his sea of consciousness was shook and injured. His god essence was greatly depleted. Despite this, he felt that Su come back under his control. Yi Emo subconsciously breathed easy. He was shocked at just what the material that upgraded Su was. This material formed Murder Dao Spear, and Murder Dao Spear killed countless owners. Now that he upgraded Su with it, it still had this terrifying destructive force. If it was some ordinary divine emperor and Su went out of control, no one could be sure if Su would become a second Murder Dao Spear. Yi Emo wasn't worried Su would become a second Murder Dao Spear, as he upgraded Su very early on and had only used it. The reason that situation occurred was that Su was too strong and he was too weak. He should be more careful when he used Su and not fully activate it. When he reached Dao Essence, he could fully activate it with completely control. Zhongli, whose realm domain was instantly broken under that powerful twisting rune. The rune covered the entire void inside the stage. Even the restrictions and space were cracking. When this twisted purple sword rune appeared before Zhongli, who couldn't even break free from its void lethal force, he could only watch as Su hacked towards his forehead. At this moment, Zhongli, who finally felt Gong Xiang's feeling. This wasn't spirit sense ambush, this was powerful suppression. Primordial spirit artifact plus sword Dao God art. This twisted sword rune reminded him of the ancient and ferocious great primordial god rune. If he could regret, he would never challenge EMO. But now he felt that twisted rune pause. This pause was less than 1/10 of a second, but it was enough for him. Zhongli who shook and he disappeared. That twisted sword rune struck where Zhongli who was, but Zhongli who broke free using space transition god art. This falling mark sword rune didn't kill Zhongli who, but it scared the soul out of him. The sword rune was stopped by Yi-Emo midway, but still shook the restrictions heavily. It was as though if Yi-Emo attacked like that again, the restriction would crumble. On one corner Zhongli, who looked dazedly at Yi-Emo. When Yi-Emo turned around, he then remembered he was still in a battle. He released a green spear, but he didn't attack again. When he saw Yi-Emo was going to attack again, he finally couldn't hold it. Immortal frenzy. Wait, I surrender. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2171-3. Chapter 2171-3. Yi-Emo didn't stop there. He looked at Zhongli Huayin and said, "When you want to fight me, you fight. When you want to surrender, you surrender. There's no such good thing. Do you think you're dreaming, or what? I'm willing to give 5 spots to the human race." Zhongli Huayin quickly said, 5 spots before the tower was a huge wealth, but it was nothing here. He could easily rob it from another race. Yi-Emo didn't put away Su, but he didn't keep attacking. He eased up his tone. Other than this, you need to answer a question. If I'm happy, then I can choose to not attack. The people in the palace didn't know the specific situation, but they saw the battle. Zhongli Huayin's magic artifact was broken in one clash and almost killed at the second clash. He wasn't killed because Yi-Emo showed mercy. Everyone was a divine emperor here, and they all saw Yimo's falling mark, sword, rune paws. What else could it be other than showing mercy? Yi Mo didn't keep attacking, and instead spoke with Zhongli Huayin, clearly to discuss conditions. Kong Han and Tian Rui never even blinked during Yimo's battle. Now that they paused, the two glanced at each other. Their eyes were filled with shock. Yimo's power was definitely no weaker than them. Yi Mo was only a Tao actualization divine emperor, but they were touching the border of primordial essence. He's probably a Tao essence divine emperor. Kong Han said slowly. He didn't believe a Tao actualization divine emperor would really be this powerful. Tian Rui didn't answer directly. Instead, he said, "Did you see his sword rune? It's a bit strange." "You're saying it's great primordial god rune." Kong Han reacted quickly. Even if Tian Rui didn't say it, he suspected that Yimo's sword rune was similar to great primordial god rune. However, even though they were managing the gathering, their spirit sense couldn't scan in. Tian Rui nodded. "It does look like great primordial god rune. Plus, that great primordial god rune paused, allowing Zhongli Huayin to escape. It might not be Yimo showing mercy." "What?" Kong Han looked at Tian Rui in shock. That was clearly Yi Mo showing mercy. Tian Rui shook his head. "I'm just guessing. I'm not sure. I didn't see it from the move, but Yi Mo as a person. He's very decisive in killing Gongxiang. Thus, he would not dare to kill Zhongli Huayin." Tian Rui, shadowless, suddenly asked, "I heard 100 years ago, in an auction at the Void Marketplace, there was not only a great primordial god rune, but also 2 great primordial god rune Tao fruits." Kong Han immediately understood, but then he stared at Yi Mo in confusion. That person was a demon race divine emperor and tore open space. Tian Rui smiled but didn't talk. Even an idiot would know that with Yi Mo's primordial spirit artifact, it wasn't hard to tear open space. What question? This time, Zhongli Huayin didn't dare to say. Yi Mo had no right to ask him. This question had been in Yi Mo's mind for countless years, and now that he could ask, he asked immediately. If a cultivator died, would his soul appear in the abyssal realm? Zhongli Huayin didn't expect Yi Mo to ask such a simple question. He immediately answered, "Not necessarily. Most cultivators die with their soul annihilated. Only a small portion of cultivators' soul appear in the abyssal realm. Then, through cultivation, they would be converted to the abyssal race, or they would go through the reincarnation bridge for their next life." "Is this reincarnation controlled by the abyssal realm?" "No, the reincarnation bridge is in the abyssal realm, but no one controls it. The abyssal realm can't control the reincarnation of cultivator souls." "Then who's in control?" "Something we don't know. It's just like divine damnation. There's heaven Tao controlling it." Zhongli Huayin was scared Yi Mo wasn't happy with his answer, and added, "But because the reincarnation bridge is in the abyssal realm, souls that survive would be swept into the abyssal realm. The cultivators of the abyssal realm would grab these souls for cultivation or keeping or forgery." Hearing this, Yi Mo frowned. Wan Qing was only golden core state. If her soul fell into the abyssal realm, it was more likely her soul was annihilated. Plus, her soul might have not gone to the abyssal realm. How do cultivators' souls go to the abyssal realm after death? Any realm has a portal to the abyssal realm. This portal only allows souls to pass through. After ordinary cultivators die, if they don't convert to ghost cultivators, then they would find other places in the immortal realm and then enter reincarnation. Zhongli Huayin said souls travel very fast and can ignore ordinary barrier. Even if the tunnel to the abyssal realm is far, they can find it in a very short time. Yi Mo thought of Swamp Shadow Valley. That was probably Shincheong continent's portal to the abyssal realm. The abyssal realm was colossal, even bigger than the divine Tao realm. How do you enter the abyssal realm? Yi Mo asked. Yemo pointed at the people outside. It's not easy for other races to enter the abyssal realm, but now everyone are waiting for us to go out. If immortal friends, ye have other questions, you can come to me after the Dao Fruit Tower gathering. Yemo knew he had more than just a few questions, and they were still indeed inside the battle stage. Seeing Zhongli Huayin walk out, the other two Dao Essence Divine Emperors of the Abyssal realm breathed easy. Regardless, it was good that Yemo didn't kill Zhongli Huayin. When they heard that they needed to give 5 spots to the human race, they did so without hesitation. No one expected that, at this stage, the human race had 44 spots. Luo Qinghe and Wang Nanshuang were extremely excited seeing Yemo win back 5 more spots. They didn't expect this gathering to be this safe and simple. Yemo knew that after the 2 battles, people were scared, but despite this, he saw Aquarius race and Beast race Divine Emperors staring at him eager to try. Even a Blood race, Dao Essence Divine Emperor stared over. Yemo got up and said, "The human race won't rob the spots of other races, but I'll make it clear if any race thinks we're easy to abuse and wants to rob our spots, then I will take away all of his spots." Yemo's words were pretty much threats and immediately made some people unhappy. No Dao Essence Divine Emperor here was weak. They were powerful beings that crossed many realms. Many of them were on the divine rank. They were many times stronger than ordinary divine emperors. Hearing this, the leading Dao Essence Demon Divine rejoiced. Yemo was asking to die. This was starting public outrage. He said in contempt so dominant, "This is a gathering for the distribution for extra spots. Do you think all the spots of other races can be taken like yours? Even if you win, you would at most get their extra spots." Yemo knew that his words would cause public annoyance, but since he was going to assert dominance, he couldn't care about this. The Blood race thought of the Demon race as their leader. When Yemo killed a Demon Dao Essence, they were already planning to challenge Yemo. With Demon race speaking up, a Blood race Dao Essence Divine Emperor got up and walked forward. Yemo saw this and really just didn't get it. What confidence did this Dao Essence Divine Emperor have to challenge him? Was it just because he let Zhongli Huayin go? Yemo just saluted with his fists to the 2 half-primordial essences and said, "May I ask if the 3 representing divine emperors of a race are all killed, what would happen to their permanent spots? If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters." Chapter 2172 Dust Settles. Chapter 2172 Dust Settles. Kong Han knew what Yemo was thinking of course, and said plainly, if all 3 representatives of a race die, then their permanent spots will be dealt with as extra spots. Hearing this, Yemo realized that the human race's permanent spots were made extra like this. But Kong Han Divine Emperor said, "If the race has no extra spots and only has permanent spots, then they're not allowed to be challenged. Unless they challenge you first, there's no way you can challenge them. Thank you for enlightening me, Kong Han Divine Emperor Master. I understand." Yemo saluted with his fists, cursed the idiot who represented the human race. He definitely challenged someone and thus lost all the spots. At this moment, Xing Hong's voice sounded, "Pill Divine, ye be careful. That Blood race Dao Essence Divine Emperor is on the divine rank. Be careful." Yemo stared the Dao Essence Blood race and finally realized why he was confident to challenge him. The Blood race Dao Essence was ready to challenge Yemo, but hearing what Yemo said, he stopped. He was on the divine rank indeed, but he was ranked at the back. Seeing Yemo's 2 previous battles, he had no confidence in beating Yemo. He challenged Yemo to suck up to the demon race. Even if he was defeated, he could give something good to ask Yemo to let him live, like Zhongli Huayin. He felt that even if he was weaker than Yemo, His forbidden arts would make Yi Mo concerned. That's why he planned to come up. Now that Yi Mo said he would annihilate all 3 divine emperors of the blood race and kick them out of the Dao Fruit Tower, he was concerned. Even if he felt he was stronger than Yi Mo, he couldn't afford to gamble. If the blood race lost their Dao Fruit Tower rights, then they would decline and maybe even become extinct. Many divine emperors of his race existed due to the Dao fruit from the Dao Fruit Tower. He didn't dare to make such risk. That's how the human race fell into decline. The human race was huge and had many talents. Even after being in decline for countless years, an insane prodigy like Yi Mo arose. The blood race didn't have that confidence. If they declined, then they would truly decline and maybe disappear from the universe. Seeing this blood race Dao essence sit down, the demon Dao essence's eyes were filled with disappointment. He wanted to see Mo kill the blood race Dao essence and then draw more hate to the human race. Even if human race got more spots, he would still join up with other races to kill Yi Mo after the tower opened. At Yi Mo's level, ordinary Dao essence divine emperor had no threats to him. Those who could threaten him were only half primordial essence or primordial essence divine emperor. Even demon race couldn't casually call over a primordial essence divine emperor to the void marketplace to kill Yi Mo. No one scorned the blood race Dao essence for backing out. He did seem weaker than Yi Mo. If they dared to challenge Yi Mo would really kill all 3 representatives. With a dominant divine emperor like Yi Mo here, the challenges afterwards became much more tame. The abyssal race wasn't going to challenge Yi Mo, of course. The beast and dragon race had enough spots and didn't need to offend Yi Mo for a few more spots. The only Dao essence divine emperor who still wanted to challenge Yi Mo was the Aquarius race one, but for some reason he resisted the urge in the end. The one who wanted to challenge Yi Mo the most was the demon race, but they didn't have the power and thus didn't dare to. This Dao fruit distribution gathering ended like this. Yi Mo just fought twice and got 44 spots. Everyone who was involved exclaimed. Everyone thought Yi Mo was suicidal when he came in, but now he got 44 spots instead. This wasn't just a matter of 44 spots. In the future gatherings, as long as human race came, then they would be able to keep at least 30 spots, even if Yi Mo didn't come. Now, it only seemed a matter of time before the fallen human race will rise back up again. Kong Han Divine Emperor got up and said the gathering has now concluded. All the races are very happy. 3 months later, I hope everyone has a bountiful harvest in the Dao Fruit Tower. People knew that at least the demon race wasn't happy. The 2 Dao Essence demons walked out of the palace first. Then the other divine emperors followed. Because of Yi Mo's dominance and some people knowing that Yi Mo was a Dao actualization pill divine, many divine emperors came to greet Yi Mo. When they saw a powerful Dao Essence divine emperor waiting for Yi Mo at the door, they knew that Yi Mo's power was far from what he showed. They became even more polite. Xing Hong greeted Yi Mo at the door, and then left with the 2 other Dao Essence from Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. He rejoiced even more of his decisions. He didn't use force on Yi Mo. When Yi Mo and them came out, the humans at the square all came up. They rejoiced seeing that Yi Mo and them were fine. "Brother Yi, I knew it was you, haha," Xin Yu Shui's voice sounded. Gu Bing and Xian Zhuo also squeezed over. When Tang Xiaoyu said Brother Yi was in danger, I didn't believe it. "See, I'm right." Xian Yushua said. Those who knew Luo Qinghe surrounded him, and people from the divine Dao realm surrounded Wang Nanchuang. The great Sun God Mountain Dao Essence Divine Emperor didn't dare to come up. A powerful Dao Essence Divine Emperor followed Yi Mo, and Yi Mo was close to that Xinghong. He didn't dare to talk in front of Yi Mo. Luo Qinghe's tone was very excited. He rambled non-stop about how Yi Mo killed Demon Dao Essence Divine Emperor and defeated Abyssal Race Dao Essence Divine Emperor, forcing the Blood Race to back down and rob 10 spots. It was already extremely shocking that Yi Mo defeated Tao Essence Divine Emperor, but compared to 10 Tao Fruit Tower spots, it wasn't important. Almost all the divine emperors who could go in the Tao Fruit Tower looked at Yi Mo and Luo Qinghe, wanting to know how the spots would be distributed. Would they need to buy it, or what? When the great sun god mountain Tao Essence heard Yi Mo kill Gongxiang, his heart beat extremely fast. Yi Mo was this absurd. He even killed Tao Essence Divine Emperor. The Tao Essence Divine Emperors entering the gathering was definitely no ordinary Tao Essence Divine Emperor. They were definitely much stronger than him. Didn't this mean that Yi Mo could kill him like a chicken? The great sun god mountain Tao Essence Divine Emperor immediately began to worry. But then he thought of Dong and was close to Yi Mo. Perhaps Dong and could beg for mercy. He saw Dong and talked to Yi Mo now, but he could only stay there nervously. Yi Mo spoke with Dong for a bit and said, "Human race, immortal friends. This time our human race went to the Tao Fruit Tower spot distribution gathering, and we got a total of 44 spots." Hearing this, the crowd erupted. Almost everyone didn't dare to believe this. They thought 10 spots was shocking enough, but Yi Mo actually got 44 spots. This was similar to those few top races. Yi Mo waited till everyone was quiet before saying, "Immortal friends, I will be distributing the 44 spots like this. I will be selling 14 of them privately. As for the remaining 30, Wan Nanshuang and Luo Qinghe came to the gathering, so they can have one each. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2173, Zhu Wuheng. Chapter 2173, Zhu Wuheng, Wang Nanshuang, and Luo Qinghe thought that they just went to sit for a while and didn't do anything, but they didn't say it out. Wang Nanshuang knew she did nothing, but she didn't want to give it out. The spot was too important for the immortal goddess, sacred sect. Luo Qinghe said, "Pill Divine Yi, I'm on the god rank. I have the right to go in. I'll give this spot to martial sister Nanshuang." Yi Mo just realized that Luo Qinghe didn't need the spot. Luo Qinghe saw that he seemingly knew Yi Mo, so he gave it to her. Hearing this, Wang Nanshuang quickly bowed to Luo Qinghe and said, "Thank you, martial brother Luo, I'll take it." Wang Nanshuang felt her face was burning. Luo Qinghe gave it to her, but she didn't even have the courtesy to reject it once. She didn't even ask for Yi Mo's opinion and just took it. But she knew that for the immortal goddess sacred sect to get back again, her face had to be thick. Yi Mo looked at the hopeful Dong'an and said, "Dong'an, you're halfway Tao Essence. You have a spot too." Dong'an came up and thanked. "Thank you, brother Yi. Dong'an won't disappoint you." His relations wasn't that close with Yi Mo, but he was experienced in dealing with people. He didn't abuse Yi Mo arrogantly and helped Yi Mo wherever he could. Yet, such little help gave him such huge reward. When he said he wouldn't disappoint Yi Mo, it meant that he would give Yi Mo a few Tao fruits if he found good ones. Yi Mo knew what Dong'an meant and didn't reject it. Looking at other people's hopeful looks, Yi Mo said again, "There are still spots and everyone has a chance to get it. However, I suggest those below Tao actualization to not fight for it. After all, the Tao Fruit Tower isn't safe." "May I ask, Pill Divine, Yi, how you're going to distribute the remaining 27 spots?" Someone asked desperately. "There's nearly 3 months before the Tao Fruit Tower opens. During this 3 months, I hope immortal friends Qinghe will take lead and choose 27 people. But there are some things I need to say now. Even the 27 chosen ones won't be getting the spots without conditions. I will discuss the conditions before the Tao Fruit Tower opens." Yi Mo's words got everyone's approval. Although there were 27 spots, but it wasn't enough for this many people. Luo Qinghe rarely came to the Void Marketplace, but everyone knew him from the god rank. He was trustworthy, so it was best that he managed this. Yi Mo came to the Immortal Rest Tower. He didn't know if Zhongli Huyin would come find him. If he didn't, then Yi Mo would go find him. Yi Mo immediately took out Gong Xiang's storage ring. A Tao Essence Divine Emperor storage ring should be wealthier than his. It didn't disappoint Yi Mo inside. Yi Mo found an extreme grade God Spirit range and nearly 1 billion God crystals, as well as a large pile of God Spirit herb and materials. As for Gong Xiang's magic artifact, it was the most worthless to Yi Mo. As soon as Yi Mo organized the things, Xinghong came over. Pill Divine Yi, I heard you're selling 14 spots to the Dao Fruit Tower? Xinghong was close to Yi Mo and immediately asked. That's right, I was planning to ask Brother Xing for help, and yet you came. Yi Mo smiled. Xinghong immediately said, Pill Divine Yi, I have an idea. I'll invite over some wealthy merchant associations and sections. Then you can publicly sell these 14 spots. That way, you would gain the most benefit. Yi Mo knew this was a good idea. Clearly, it would make him wealthy quickly. Of course, there was high risks for this. That was everyone would know there was a human called Yi Mo who reaped in huge profits. But Yi Mo didn't care about this. How can there be reward with no risk? Okay, I'll leave that to Brother Xing. Yi Mo agreed without hesitation. Xinghong hesitated and said, Pill Divine Yi, this is definitely a good method, but then only drawback is that it would put Pill Divine Yi on the spotlight and bring you great risk. Yi Mo laughed, wanting rewards and being scared isn't my style. Brother Xing, just go do it. Leave life and death to me. Xinghong nodded. With Pill Divine Yi's power, no one in the Void Marketplace dares to seek your trouble. If it was before, Yi Mo definitely wouldn't dare to do this. If he did that, he would have to wait and die. He wouldn't even be able to leave the Void Marketplace, but with his current power, he could afford to do it. Xinghong could remind him. This meant that he was a rather good friend. After Yi Mo exchanged communication beads with Xinghong, he said, I'm free these few days, whatever pills Brother Xing needs. Just send me the materials. Xinghong didn't act polite this time and took out a storage ring to Yi Mo. I have a few cauldrons of pills for you, Pill Divine Yi. Feeling that Xinghong was being genuine, Yi Mo sent Xinghong to the door personally this time. This was a signal. Yi Mo was famous in the Void Marketplace now, and by sending Xinghong out, it meant that the human race was forming an alliance with the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. Yi Mo was such a huge potential and powerful Pill Divine. Of course Xinghong wouldn't reject this. Pill Divine Yi. As soon as Yi Mo was planning to go back, he heard an uncertain voice. Yi Mo turned around and saw an ordinary-looking young man. He was Tao Nourishment peak stage. His skin was white and eyes a bit sunken. The chi of void and different realms stayed on him. Clearly, he roamed around a lot. You're looking for me? This person was also a human. Yes, Pill Divine Yi. Wanbei is Ju Wuheng. I came a bit late to the Void Marketplace and didn't get to see Pill Divine Yi's dominant look representing the human race. I came to visit this time. Ju Wuheng's tone was genuine. Yi Mo smiled. It's not easy for you to reach Tao Nourishment peak stage. When the Tao Fruit Tower opens, you can go have a look too. Ju Wuheng quickly said, Pill Divine Yi, Wanbei came for the Tao Fruit Tower, but I haven't reached Tao actualization yet. Qinghe QB said Wanbei can't go in yet, but Wanbei believes I'm no weaker than any Tao actualization Divine Emperor. It's not that I can't reach Tao actualization, but I don't want yet. Yi Mo didn't doubt the first half, but he was shocked at the second half. Even he can't reach Tao actualization whenever he wanted. Follow me, Yi Mo said, and turned into the Mortal Rest Tower. Ju Wuheng clearly knew that Yi Mo was going to give the opportunity to him, and thus followed Yi Mo without hesitation. You're saying you can reach Tao actualization whenever you want? Yi Mo set up restrictions and asked. Zhu Wuheng said affirmatively. Yes, but in order to reach the grand state of primordial essence, I've kept perfecting my Tao instead of breaking through to Tao actualization. When my Tao Mark God art is perfect, I wouldn't need to do anything, and I would reach Tao actualization, Divine Emperor. If other people heard this, they would think Zhu Wuheng is bluffing, but Yi Mo didn't think that way. What gives you such confidence? Yi Mo's tone went cold. Even he didn't dare to say that. Because my father is a primordial essence divine emperor, and the cultivation method he left behind is the top primordial essence divine Tao cultivation method. Not only that, I'm a natural Tao body. I know extremely clear if I can and how I can reach my next cultivation level. Zhu Wuheng looked at Yi Mo calmly. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 21, 74 Cell Spots. Chapter 21, 74 Cell Spots. Zhu Wuheng's words shocked Yi Mo. Was surprised, but not shocked at the primordial essence divine Tao cultivation method. However, he was shocked at the Tao body. Such body was born for cultivation. In the process of cultivation, they knew very clear what their weaknesses were and could accurately predict if they could break through to the next level. When to break through, what was needed. They were also many times greater at learning Tao. They could easily learn any god art or magic. It's not that their cultivation speed was fast, but with that precise control, their cultivation foundation was more solid than anyone. Of course, this was if they had the necessary cultivation resources. Yi Mo also knew that the greatest secret of the Tao body was that it could be possessed. Yet, Zhu Wuheng dared to tell him this the first time they met. How much confidence and balls did he have? You're quite bold to tell me about the Tao body, Yi Mo said. Zhu Wuheng bowed. If it wasn't for Qian Bei's charisma, Wan Bei wouldn't dare to say it too. Qian Bei can represent the human race to go to the Tao fruit tower distribution and give 30 spots back to the human race. One could see that Qian Bei is an honest and righteous person. Plus, Qian Bei's talent is probably more absurd than mine. Qian Bei don't seem to be older than Wan Bei, but your cultivation level is far superior. Yi Mo knew that his age probably was less than 1% that of Zhu Wuheng's. And Wan Bei knows that if I don't enter the Tao Fruit Tower, there's no hope of me reaching the Tao Essence Divine Emperor I want to reach. Most importantly, Wan Bei has no time to wait. Zhu Wuheng's tone was very genuine. Your father is a primordial essence Divine Emperor. I believe he's famous. What's he called? Yi Mo already decided to give a spot to Zhu Wuheng. It would be too unfair to not give such a talented divine emperor a spot. My father is called Zhuya. Zhu Wuheng answered calmly. Zhuya. Yi Mo repeated. He had never heard of this name before. Qian Bei hasn't heard of my father. Zhu Wuheng looked at Yi Mo with more shock. He thought that someone as strong as Yi Mo would have definitely heard of his father. Yi Mo smiled. Perhaps I forgot, but I don't have a deep impression. Do you want to reach Tao Essence, Divine Emperor, quickly due to your father? Zhu Wuheng nodded. Yes, I don't want to ruin my foundation, but I also want to speed up to save my father. What happened to your father? Yi Mo asked. Zhu Wuheng hesitated for a while and said, My father is sealed. No one else can save him other than me. Yi Mo didn't keep asking. Yi Mo said, Zhu Wuheng, I can give you a spot, but you need to help me do something. That is, if you save your father, then you must go back to the divine Tao realm and protect is for 300 years. Yi Mo felt uneasy ever since the distribution gathering. He didn't know exactly what it was. Zhu Wuheng fell silent for a while and said, Pill Divine Yi, if I save my father, I can assure that my father and I will stay at the divine Tao realm for 100 years and help it. I can't promise beyond that time. I know what Pill Divine Yi is worried about, but my father isn't a human race divine emperor from the divine Tao realm. He even has conflicts with the primordial essence divine emperor from the divine Tao realm. If it wasn't that the divine Tao realm is broken, I can't even promise 100 years. Okay. Yi Mo agreed without hesitation. Zhu Wuheng was someone like him. If they promised, they would never regret. After Zhu Wuheng left, Yi Mo set up his room restrictions and then took out the storage Ring Xing Hong gave him. He wanted to see what God Pills Xing Hong wanted him to concoct. Cosmic Lotus. Yi Mo immediately grabbed out a lotus from the storage ring. It had 9 petals. At the same time, Yi Mo realized that it was Void Marketplace Merchant Tower at the auction who used the Yuan I to buy the Cosmic Lotus. Yi Mo applauded Xing Hong's temperament. Xing Hong gave him this clearly to ask him to concoct Cosmic Tao Pill. Thinking about how 50% was his, Yi Mo was very excited. He also felt happy with Xing Hong's trust. Other than the Cosmic Lotus, the other materials were nothing compared to it. In the Void Marketplace, the most luxurious and big exchange palace was the Void Marketplace Merchant Towers Exchange Palace. Today, Yi Mo came here with Xing Hong and Xiao He. This time the palace is open for exchanges, but unlike before, this was only for Yi Mo. Xing Hong was from the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower. However, he didn't represent them. Instead, he stood next to Yi Mo. Everyone here knew that Yi Mo was going to sell 14 spots into the Tao Fruit Tower. Although there was just 14 and Xing Hong didn't advertise, quite a lot of people got the news. This time, 60 people came. Each one represented a powerful sect or a powerful faction. When everyone sat down, Xing Hong signaled Yi Mo to get up and speak. Yi Mo got up and saluted with his fists. Thank you, immortal friends, for coming here to deal with me. I've already given out one of the 14 spots, so I only have 13 spots left on me. There's no limitations. As long as you can take out something that I like, be it God crystals, God spirit herb, or God spirit items. Everyone knows I'm a pill divine, so don't take out God pills. God crystals and God spirit ranges were necessities, but at the divine emperor level, they were the least valuable to them. The most valuable were God pill and Tao fruits. Okay, pill divine Yi is straightforward. I like it. I'll use 1 billion God crystals to buy a Tao fruit tower spot. A coarse-looking Tao essence divine emperor got up and said. Yi Mo sneered. In terms of business, he wasn't as good as Su Jingwen and Su Yuehua, but he was no weaker than the divine emperors here. If it was an ordinary Tao fruit, 1 billion God crystals was worth it. But if you were lucky, you could get maybe even 10 Tao fruits with a Tao fruit tower spot. Yi Mo had already asked. Each level of the tower only has 1 Tao fruit tree, but this tree is enormous. It's almost like a realm. If 2 divine emperors picked Tao fruits on the 2 sides of the tree, their spirit sense wouldn't even be able to see each other. Of course, how many Tao fruit you could pick depended on your cultivation level. Under any Tao fruit tree, the pressure doubles each time you pick a Tao fruit. That's why there are many divine emperors who die in the Tao fruit too. The danger didn't just come from the hunt of other divine emperors. Yi Mo also knew from Xing Hong that the Tao fruit tower has this great Tao wave. It's very helpful for Tao actualization divine emperors breaking through. Many Tao actualization divine emperor peak stages who leave the tower break through to Tao essence divine emperor immediately. Everyone looked at Yi Mo, hoping he would agree. If he did, there would be a reference price point. Yi Mo smiled. This is how I feel about selling the spots. In order to speed things up and keep things secret, I'll use jade cards for bids. I have tens of jade cards here. I'll give everyone one, and you write down the number of spots and your price on it. After comparison each round, I will choose a jade card to complete the deal. Hearing this, everyone was dumbfounded. This was a cruel move. This was making everyone compete against each other and unable to see each other's price. Only Yi-Mo would know the bids, so in order to win, people would have to make their greatest offer. Seeing this, Xing Hong breathed easy. He was scared that Yi-Mo would accept the 1 billion God crystals offer. With this, everyone gave up trying to get a small advantage. They could only mark down their greatest offer on the Jade card. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2175 Escaped Poverty. Chapter 2175 Escaped Poverty. The first round of bids soon came in. Most bids just wanted one spot, and the value was about 1 billion God crystals and some other things. Yi-Mo didn't want these things at all, so he wouldn't agree. Yi-Mo saw that one Jade card wanted 5 spots, and the bid was 1 extreme grade God Spirit range and 1 top grade God Spirit range, as well as 10 billion God crystals. Yi-Mo immediately knew this price was fine. Yi-Mo returned all the Jade cards back and said the first round has concluded. Immortal Friends 37 has bought 5 spots. As soon as Yi-Mo said this, Yi-Mo sent 5 spot Jade cards to a short-haired man. These are Jade cards made by me. When the Dao Fruit Tower opens, anyone can take these and go to the human race. The short-haired man quickly gave Yi-Mo a storage ring and left the palace rapidly. Yi-Mo said that anyone could use the Jade cards, meaning that he only recognized Jade cards, not the people who bought it. With 5 spots gone in the first round, no one dared to bid 1 billion God crystals at the second round. They bid much higher prices. The second round, Yi-Mo sold 2 spots. The less spots there were, the higher the bid Yi-Mo got. When all 13 spots were gone, Yi-Mo got 30 billion God crystals. 2 extreme grade God Spirit range in total, and 3 more top grade God Spirit range, as well as some God Spirit herb and high-level forgery materials. Finally, Yi-Mo felt he was a little wealthier. At least, he wouldn't be so shocked to see just 10 billion God crystals. Yi-Mo was planning to sell some of his pills after selling these spots, but since the spots alone earned him so much, he gave up on the idea. He could sell these things anywhere. Congratulations, Pill Divine Yi. Xing Hong walked up to Yi-Mo and said. He didn't know how much Yi-Mo earned, but he knew it wasn't little. I'm finally not poor anymore. Yi-Mo felt great. Xing Hong didn't ask about Yi-Mo's pill concoction and just said, I'm going back to the Merchant Tower. If you need me, Pill Divine Yi, just call the attendants at the Immortal Rest Tower. Yi-Mo gave the storage ring Xing Hong gave him before back to him. The pills are made. See if they're okay, Brother Xing? Xing Hong had long wanted to ask Yi-Mo about the pills, but he was too embarrassed to. Now that Yi-Mo said they were ready, he almost called out. He grabbed the storage ring and took out a few jade bottles from inside. 6 God Cloud pill, extreme grade. 6 North Soul pills, extreme grade. When Xing Hong saw it was all extreme grade pills, his hands were shaky. He had never seen God pills of this quality. This wasn't ordinary God pill. These were God pill for Tao Essence Divine Emperor. 6 extreme grade Cosmic Doa pill. When Xing Hong saw these, he finally couldn't hold in his excitement. PM Divine, you really successfully made the Cosmic Tao pill? They're extreme grade too. How did you do it? Yi-Mo looked at Xing Hong and asked, Brother Xing, did you not give me the Cosmic Lotus for me to concoct the Cosmic Tao pill? Of course, but I wasn't very confident, and there were no better pill divines than you in the Void Marketplace. I promised to the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower that you could definitely do it, and they barely let me have the Cosmic Lotus. Haha, I didn't expect you really succeeded, and they're extreme grade too. I want to see who dares to say anything now. Xing Hong laughed. Yi-Mo coughed. Brother Xing, you've come and gone in a hurry recently. Is it due to the Cosmic Lotus? Xing Hong said awkwardly. That's right. I had to go explain it carefully each time I went back. Now I finally don't need to. I'm going back to slap their faces, ha ha ha. At the same time, Xing Hong realized that Emo definitely concocted more than 6 pills. Otherwise, if he only concocted 6 pills, there was no way they would all be extreme grade. Emo quite possibly concocted 12 cosmic Dao pills. Thinking about this, Xing Hong dazed. What pill concoction skill level was this? This was definitely not Dao Actualization Pill Divine, but definitely Dao Essence Pill Divine. Emo was a peak Dao Essence Pill Divine. Pill Divine Yu, your Dao Essence Pill Divine. Thinking about this, Xing Hong asked in extreme shock. Emo knew that his true pill concoction skills would be exposed when he gave the pills to Xing Hong, but he didn't care. Even if a halfway primordial essence tried to kill him, he could easily get away. Plus, a powerful primordial essence Pill Divine was someone that halfway primordial essence wanted to suck up to. Who would be dumb enough to kill him? That's right. I'm a primordial essence Pill Divine, a decent one. Emo said. Xing Hong took in a cold breath, and before he could say anything, Qiao, he said in surprise and joy, Pill Divine, you're actually a Dao Essence Pill Divine. The better Emo was at pill concoction, the better it was for him. Qiao, he had been following him for this long, but Emo still couldn't go with him to Guangyuan Palace yet. Emo could only say apologetically, Immortal friends Qiao, I'm indeed a Dao Essence Pill Divine, but I'm still quite busy, so I can't go with you yet. That's fine, that's fine. Qiao, he was desperate, but he said without hesitation, Don't worry, Pill Divine Yi, I have time to wait. Qiao, he was very desperate, but he didn't dare to leave the void marketplace and ask the palace lord to come. He was scared that as soon as he left Emo would leave for another few hundred years. Emo could see Qiao He's desperation and could tell that he was genuinely inviting him to Guangyuan Palace. But no matter how much he pitied that young mistress, he wasn't going to the Guangyuan Palace before he reached Dao Essence Divine Emperor. Saving people was important, but so was his life. He didn't dare to be Carol's Fasinga, Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. If he didn't have the Chaos World nor the Chaos Tree, he didn't mind, but he had too many good things. Even Primordial Essence Divine Emperor would be jealous of every single one of them. Brother Yi, I'll be going back to the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower immediately. If there's anything you need, just let me know. I can definitely do it for you. Xing Hong even changed Yi Mo's title. Clearly a peak Dao Essence Pill Divine had the same value as a Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. Emo knew the Void Marketplace Merchant Tower was wealthy, so he didn't act too polite. I need large amounts of God's Spirit Herb and immortal materials. The more the better. Okay, don't worry, Brother Yi. I promise to get these things done for you. Xing Hong said. After Xing Hong left, Emo said to Qiao, Hey, let's go visit the Abyssal Race Dao Essence Divine Emperors. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2176 Abyssal Races Ambush. Chapter 2176 Abyssal Races Ambush. Abyssal Race was one of the few powerful races. The hotel they stayed at was the most luxurious in the Void Marketplace. Emo and Qiao, he just came to the door of their hotel, and Zhongli Huin came out to greet Emo. Immortal friends, Zhongli seems very busy. I don't know if I've disturbed you, Emo said while saluting with his fists. Emo was quite annoyed at this guy. He let this guy live. This guy should have come to visit him, but he had to come over instead. Zhongli Hui knew that Emo was scorning him for not going over, but he wasn't angry at all. He forced a sliver of smile and said, I was planning to Viced Pill Divine, but suddenly a few friends came, so it took a few days. I hope Pill Divine you won't mind. Pill Divine Yi and immortal friends Qiao, please come with me. Since Pill Divine is here, then please drink a cup of tea. An ethereal voice sounded. Yi Mo immediately knew who this voice belonged to. It was that abyssal race Tao Essence Divine Emperor he took notice of. He was the leader for the abyssal race this time. When Yi Mo walked in the place, he noticed that there really was another guest. She was a woman. The first time Yi Mo saw this woman, he just felt she looked clean, but after Yi Mo's eyes stayed on her for a few seconds, he found that she emitted the seduction all over her body. Such familiar feeling. Yi Mo immediately thought of someone. When he first came to the immortal realm, he met a woman called Jiangjin. She's a member of the MOU Immortal sect now. Yi Mo saw, certain that they were both natural, seductive body. However, her cultivation level was countless times higher than Jiangjin. Her cultivation method was suited to her body. I've long heard of your name. It's an honor to see you here today, Pill Divine Yi. This woman smiled at Yi Mo. As for Qiao He, she just completely ignored him. Qiao, he sat next to Yi Mo and didn't care if he was ignored. That bleak Qi Dao Essence Divine Emperor introduced Pill Divine Yi. This is a Phoenix Dao Essence Master Tang Qi. She wanted to come here and see you after hearing you were coming. I'm Qiao Zhe. I'm also very grateful that Pill Divine Yi could show mercy. If there wasn't too many things to do, I would have long visited Pill Divine Yi. Just when Yi Mo was thinking if this Tang Qi was related to Tang Xiaoyu, Tang Qi said, Immortal friends Qiao, don't mind me, I'll just drink some tea here. The two seemed to be close, and Qiao Zhe just nodded to Tang Qi before turning to Yi Mo and saluted with his fists. Pill Divine, you probably wants to ask about the abyssal realm, right? Yi Mo didn't have a good impression of this Qiao Zhe and didn't want to waste time. Yes, I want to ask immortal friends Qiao if it's very hard for me to go to the abyssal realm. Qiao Zhe clearly heard about this from Zhongli Huayin and said, that's right, out of all the races and realms, the abyssal realm is the hardest to enter. Not only do you need an abyssal body to enter the abyssal realm, but also if you're not an abyssal race and you forcefully enter, your cultivation level will be suppressed to the lowest. Of course, if Pill Divine Yi wants to enter our abyssal realm, we're more than happy. Then, Qiao Zhe even took out a dark jade tablet and dark jade slip to Yi Mo. Pill Divine, you just need to wear this jade card to enter the abyssal realm. This jade slip is a map of the abyssal realm, including all the entrances. It's yours, Pill Divine Yi. He knew that if Yi Mo was set on entering this place, even if he described it as hell, it wouldn't stop Yi Mo. Yi Mo didn't expect Qiao Zhe would be this easy to talk to. Yi Mo didn't know why this was, but he didn't want to connect with Qiao Zhe. Yi Mo got up to leave. He let Zhongli Huayin live. This wasn't something that 5 spots could make up for. Even if Zhongli Huayin didn't give the 5 spots, he could kill Zhongli Huayin and keep challenging the abyssal race. Thus, Yi Mo didn't feel he owed Qiao Zhe anything for the map and jade slip. Pill Divine Yi, I feel there's something wrong with that Qiao Zhe. You can't trust his jade slip. After walking out, Qiao, he said worriedly. Yi Mo smiled. I know this, don't worry. No need to follow me for now. I'm going to the Immortal Rest Tower for solitary cultivation for a while. When the Dao Fruit Tower opens, just wait for me there. Knowing this, Qiao, he didn't insist on following Yi Mo. After returning to his room, Yi Mo set up layers of restriction before entering the Golden Page world. Inside, Yi Mo immediately took out that dark jade card. Yi Mo's spirit sense scanned in. His spirit sense has reached 5th transformation peak. His spirit sense broke restriction after restriction inside the jade card. In just 15 minutes, Yi Mo's spirit sense left this jade card. He didn't break it. He knew that there was something done to this jade card. As soon as he used it to enter the abyssal realm, he would be tracked. Qiao Zhe was already scheming against him. This jade card was made for him. Yi Mo sneered. Qiao Zhe and that Zhongli Huayin already wanted to kill him. These days, you really couldn't be too kind. He sealed the jade card and then picked up the map jade slip. It didn't seem newly made, but Yi Mo easily found another spirit sense mark. Yi Mo took out a new jade slip and copied the map onto it before sealing this jade slip too in the golden page world. Yi Mo was never going to go easy on those who wanted to kill him. Yi Mo left the golden page world. A few days later, Xing Hong came over to give Yi Mo a storage ring. It was filled with all sorts of materials and God spirit herbs. They weren't very expensive, but they were ample in amount. From Xing Hong, Yi Mo heard about the Kamsik Dao pill. It's been brought to a heaven price in the Void marketplace. They were extreme grade Dao fruit god pills. The first one was sold for nearly double the price of the cosmic lotus. This is where the value of a pill divine showed. 12 pills came out of one cauldron. The value of the materials flipped more than tens of times. But not all pill divines had this success rate and quality. There was still 2 months before the Dao Fruit Tower opened, so Yi Mo stayed at his place concocting pills and forging materials. 2 months passed quickly. Yi Mo was planning to leave and ask Luo Qinghe about the selection. He also wanted to ask Luo Qinghe if he had been to Luo Yu continent. Before Yi Mo left his immortal rest tower, Gu Biying rushed to Yi Mo's place. Seeing her worried and anxious look, Yi Mo knew something probably happened. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2170, 7 Blood, Spilling on the God, Rank Square. Chapter 2170, 7 Blood Spilling on the God, Rank Square. What happened? Yi Mo asked. He was thinking if something happened with Luo Qinghe's selection. Did someone not agree to his selection? Brother Yi, our people are fighting with the Aquarius race at the God Rank Square. We've lost more than 10 divine emperors, and even Marshal Brother Qinghe is heavily injured. If it wasn't, before she finished, Yi Mo already disappeared from the room. Gu Biying knew Yi Mo, went over, and quickly followed. When Yi Mo saw the scene at the God Rank Square, he was furious. More than 1,000 people were fighting at the square, but it was pretty much all human divine emperors who died. There was 60 people who died now. It was all Aquarius race who fought the human race. They had the definite upper hand. The battle was extremely intense. The reason the Aquarius race could win was because they had 6 Dao Essence divine emperors. Human race only had 2 Dao Essence divine emperor. 2 of the 6 Aquarius Dao Essences were stopped by 2 human Dao Essence. 1 more was stopped by a red-robed human female. She was only Dao actualization peak stage. Other than this, the other 3 Aquarius Dao Essences were slaughtering human divine emperors below Dao actualization. There were tens of thousands of people watching the battle, and they were all watching, but no one intervened. Yi Mo didn't call them to stop. He charged onto the battlefield with Zisu. Amidst all the battle rays, one purple color instantly swept across the entire battlefield. Whether it was Aquarius Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor or Dao Actualization Divine Emperor, no one could live for a second under Yi Mo's purple ray. The 3 Dao Essences saw Yi Mo slay Aquarius Divine Emperors like chickens and immediately charged at Yi Mo crazily. Yi Mo was completely furious now. His powerful realm domain and spirit sense domain extended out and instantly swept in these 3 Dao Essences. The next moment, Crevice God Art and Falling Mark Sword Rune sprayed out non-stop, forming purple ripples in his domain. Almost all the Aquarius Divine Emperors who were sliced were killed. The 2 Dao Essences just released a magic artifact to stop Yi Mo's Crevice God Art, and they felt 2 twisted runes appear in their sea of consciousness. Yi Mo used Spirit Sense, Great Primordial God Rune, to attack their sea before they could call out the words Great Primordial God Rune. Falling Mark Sword Rune swept over, and the 2 Dao Essences instantly died. The 3rd Dao Essence worriedly stopped, but Yi Mo didn't give him any chance. Yi-Mo threw out an ice space god art and another falling mark sword rune. It had only been a few seconds since coming to the square, but Yi-Mo killed more than 10 first-step Divine Emperors and 3 Dao Essence Divine Emperors. At this moment, the two sides finally saw Yi-Mo come. The suppressed human side immediately became excited. The remaining 3 Aquarius Dao Essence Divine Emperors were very worried. The Dao Essence fighting the red-robed woman quickly said, "Pill Divine, ye stop, there's a misunderstanding." The red-robed woman, who was almost about to be killed, quickly ate a god pill to recover and looked at Yi-Mo in shock. She just came to God rank square. She really didn't understand how this Pill Divine Yi was this powerful. Misunderstanding? Yi-Mo didn't seem to hear it. Zissou didn't stop, but more and more purple sword ripples appeared in the square. Aquarius Divine Emperors were slaughtered non-stop. Instantly, 10 more Divine Emperors died. Not only so, he extended out his powerful realm domain and threw out countless lightning swords. Ever since he reached Divine Emperor, Yi-Mo rarely used this massive area attack lightning swords, but today he was completely furious. Aquarius Dao Essence Divine Emperors slaughtered human Divine Emperors relentlessly. If he didn't do the same back, he wouldn't be Yi-Mo. Yi-Mo was Dao Actualization peak stage, and his God Essence and Spirit Sense were more powerful than Dao Essence Divine Emperor. When these lightning swords fell, the number of Aquarius race Divine Emperors dying multiplied. Those Aquarius Dao molding Divine Emperor couldn't even take one. Even Dao Nourishment and Dao Actualization Divine Emperor died with just a few hits. Those people watching just realized that Pill Divine, he was also a lightning element Divine Emperor. Misunderstanding? He didn't believe that bullshit. If it was a misunderstanding, why didn't the Aquarius Dao Essence Divine Emperors stop earlier? They were clearly killing human Divine Emperors non-stop. Seeing Yi-Mo didn't intend to stop at all. This Dao Essence smashed out a vibrant color and signaled the 2 other Dao Essences to attack Yi-Mo. When their opponents left, the 2 human Dao Essences immediately joined the slaughter of Aquarius Divine Emperors. There was no way things would resolve now. Everyone's eyes were red from slaughter. Seeing the Dao Essence shoot out the vibrant color, Yi-Mo knew it was asking for help, but he didn't stop it. Before this Dao Essence seeking help came up to Yi-Mo, Yi-Mo went up to him. He collected his falling mark, sword rune, and realm domain to only suppress him. This Dao Essence Divine Emperor was clearly no less angry than Yi-Mo. The same time, Yi-Mo charged at him. Water Chi emitted around him and spread out, forming a Water Chi realm domain. The 2 realm domains clashed together, and the 2 nearby Dao Nourishment Divine Emperors were smashed away. Powerful Water Chi domain actually stopped the twisted sword rune. Although this was because the falling mark sword rune had already weakened, Yi-Mo was still a bit shocked. However, Yi-Mo's killing intent was intense. When the falling mark sword rune fell, he smashed out 5 lightning spear destruction. 1 spear towards the Dao Essence he was fighting and 4 to the other 2 Dao Essences. There was a shocking God Essence explosion that spread across the God rank square. The Dao Essence fighting Yi-Mo stopped a lightning spear and released his heaven smashing hammer. A Yi-Mo. Yi-Mo went in instead. This time, he didn't use any magic artifact and just punched. The Aquarius Dao Essence rejoiced seeing that Yi-Mo was using his fists to clash with his magic artifact. The hammer sped up and instantly clashed with Yi-Mo's fist. The fist became huge with the surrounding of God Essence. The clash created space ripples. Another explosion sounded, but the hammer was actually stopped by Yi-Mo's fists. Yi-Mo's fist force was unstoppable. This Aquarius Dao Essence's face went into extreme shock. He didn't expect Yi-Mo's punch would smash away his God artifact. At the same time, a water domain rose up again before Yi-Mo's fist. This was his final defense God art. Ordinary God artifacts wouldn't be able to break it open quickly. This was his life saving God art. Rumble. Yimo's fist force smashed onto the water domain, and the water domain instantly exploded. Each drop of water splashed out like a boundless huge mountain. Before the Tao essence could understand how Yimo broke his God art, the void fist force struck on his body, smashing half of his body away. Divine body, the Tao essence called out in extreme shock. He retreated like crazy. Although the water domain God art was broken, but he still survived. He finally realized why Yimo's fist was this powerful. This pill divine Yi was a body refinement cultivator of the extreme peak. He reached the legendary divine body level. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2178 Void Marketplace Intervention. Chapter 2178 Void Marketplace Intervention. Yimo's punch didn't take this Tao essence's life, but Yimo didn't chase. Su smashed out again, and 2 falling mark sword runes rolled back. The 2 Aquarius Tao essences just broke free from Yimo's 4 lightning spear and had to face Yimo's falling mark sword rune again. Luckily, even though Yimo was only strong, he could only heavily bind 1 Tao essence. Blood light flashed again, and essence, spirit crumbled. This bound Tao essence divine emperor instantly died. The other Tao essence divine emperor barely stopped Yimo's falling mark sword rune and protected his sea of consciousness. He retreated rapidly but didn't dare to come up. Yimo didn't chase as well. Su flashed with purple rays again. In a short while, a few more divine emperors below Tao actualization were killed. The battle on the God rank square had become one-sided. Pill divine, you please stop, a powerful spirit sense scanned over. Feeling this, Yimo knew it was half primordial essence Kong Han divine emperor. He was half primordial essence and rather polite. Yimo had killed more than 100 Aquarius divine emperors now and got some revenge, so he gave face to Kong Han divine emperor and stopped the slaughter. Although he stopped attacking, Yimo didn't take a break. He started collecting all the storage rings of the dead divine emperors. Seeing Yimo stop, the human divine emperors stopped too and held those divine emperors with essence, spirit, left repair their body. Kong Han finally breathed easy seeing Yimo stop the slaughter. Before he could speak, 5 more Aquarius Tao essences with more divine emperors. When they saw the terrifying scene at the square, their eyes were bursting out. Those Tao essence divine emperors didn't even think. Killing intent bursted all over their body. Even those outside the square could feel it. They released magic artifact and charged at Yimo. They were going to get revenge. As for the dead human divine emperors, how could they even compare with the Aquarius race? Stop, I'm already investigating the cause. Kong Han divine emperor said with annoyance when he saw the Aquarius divine emperors were still going to attack when he said stop. The Tao essence divine emperor who lost half his body still had some reason, and he was recovering his body. He quickly went up to the Tao essence divine emperors and said, "Don't fight now." He knew Yimo's terror very clearly. He had a primordial spirit artifact that could kill divine emperors like chickens, and he was a divine body refinement cultivator. Even if all these 5 Tao essence divine emperors charged up together, they had very low chances of winning. Plus, the human race had 2 Tao essence divine emperors and a red-robed woman on par with Tao essence. Hearing this, the 5 Aquarius race divine emperors calmed down a bit. They ordered the Aquarius race to collect the divine emperors who were killed on the square, but Yimo already took their storage rings. The people watching knew that the conflict had stopped for now, but this human race, Pill Divine, he was too terrifying. He killed more than 100 divine emperors in less than 15 minutes. It was because of him that the human disadvantage turned to a dominating sweep. Avoid Marketplace, Tao Essence Divine Emperor had investigated things clear already, and quickly came up, Kong Han Divine Emperor Master. During the battle just then, human race lost 65 Divine Emperors, and the Aquarius race lost 143 Divine Emperors. 4 of them are Tao Essence Divine Emperors. Kong Han heard this and frowned. He glanced at the scene and said, "Although Void Marketplace don't forbid fighting, but such large-scale fights are definitely forbidden. Tian Rue, Divine Emperor, and I will be waiting at the Void Marketplace Guest Palace. I hope the human and Aquarius race representatives can sit with us and sort this thing out. Since this happened, it must be dealt with fairly and swiftly." Kong Han Divine Emperor's tone went cold, and he even glanced at Yi Mo with cold eyes. When he came, he saw how terrifyingly Yi Mo slaughtered. Yi Mo didn't care at all. He could tell that Kong Han's tone and expression seemed very furious, but he was actually very calm. He just wanted to go through the process, for the sake of it. Luo Qinghe with heavy injuries, and Wang Nanchuang came over. There was that red-robed Tao actualization woman behind them. Yi Mo had a deep impression of her as she stopped an Aquarius race Tao Essence Divine Emperor all alone. Yi Mo fought that Aquarius race Tao Essence Divine Emperor. He definitely wasn't simple. He wanted to kill him by attacking with full power, but he only destroyed half his body. Such injuries to Tao Essence Divine Emperors were nothing. Seeing Wang Nanchuang with red eyes, Yi Mo immediately knew that someone from the Immortal Goddess Sacred Sect was probably killed. "Qinghe, what happened? Control your injuries and tell me." Yi Mo took out a pill and gave it to Luo Qinghe. Yi Mo also took out a few bottles of pills to Wang Nanchuang and said, "Marshal Sister Nanchuang, go help the injured people first." "Pill divine, Yi, this started because of me." The red-robed woman bowed to Yi Mo and said nervously, she had been very prideful. She didn't even take the halfway primordial essences of other races seriously, much less ordinary human divine emperors. She didn't know Yi Mo's identity very well yet, but from how Yi Mo came so dominantly and instantly turned the tides for the human race, she respected Yi Mo a lot. After Luo Qinghe used Yi Mo's pills, his injuries recovered rapidly. He quickly said, "Marshal Sister Qin Xuanji is the other human divine emperor on the god rank. She's much higher than me. She's ranked 46th. God rank 46th? Yi Mo studied Qin Xuanji in surprise. She didn't look old and was Tao actualization peak stage. Even though Tao actualization was the peak of the first step of Tao vindication, it was still the first step. Tao Essence Divine Emperor was the second step. The difference was heavens apart. Even if she was ranked 46th, it was hard to stop that Tao Essence Divine Emperor for a while. Not everyone had his cultivation method and fortunes. Qin Xuanji knew Yi Mo's confusion and said, "I've been adventuring in the cosmos and had some fortune. My cultivation level is higher than before, so I'm guessing now that I can be ranked in God, rank top 10. Hearing this, Yi Mo nodded. God, rank top 10. They can't defeat Tao Essence Divine Emperor, but they would be able to stop the Aquarius race Tao Essence Divine Emperor for a while. Top 10. Luo Qinghe took in a cold breath. He knew better than Yi Mo what top 10 God rank meant. Every one of them were a shocking existence. Let's not talk about this yet. Tell me what happened. Yi Mo was going to reason at the Void Marketplace Guest Palace. He needed to know the exact situation. He knew that the human race Divine Emperor wouldn't be stupid enough to offend the Aquarius race, but he still didn't know how they started fighting. Qin Xuanji immediately said, "Marshal Brother Yi, after I came to the Void Marketplace a year ago to find out about the Tao Fruit Tower news, I left. I didn't know about Marshal Brother Yi representing human race in Tao Fruit Tower spot distribution. As soon as I came back, I was challenged by an Aquarius race Divine Emperor on the God rank. He was higher ranked than me, but I was stronger than him. He wanted to kill me non-stop, so I didn't hold back and killed him. Luo Qinghe said, Aquarius race, Tao, actualization divine emperor challenged martial sister, Xuanji, probably because they were unhappy with the human race. I think it might be related to the demon race. Yi Mo felt this conflict was very strange. Even if there was a conflict, it should be between the human and demon race. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2179 Resolution. Chapter 2179 Resolution. Yi Mo realized. At the spot distribution gathering, there was an Aquarius Tao Essence Divine Emperor who wanted to challenge him, but because of his threats, they backed out for some reason. Now that an Aquarius God Rank Divine Emperor wanted to challenge Xin Xuanji, it was clearly to give him a warning. Being killed on the God Rank Challenge stage was something that no one could get revenge. The reason that Gong Xiang dared to attack Luo Qinghe was Bo's human race was too weak and they had no leader. Now that human race had a leader, Yi Mo, they needed a proper reason. Then did the Aquarius race Tao Essence Divine Emperor attack? Yi Mo asked. Qin Xuanji said they didn't attack directly, but a Tao Essence Divine Emperor was extremely furious. He said that I shamelessly ambushed during the battle and threatened me that the Aquarius race wouldn't let this go. I knew the Aquarius race was powerful and resisted the urge to argue with him. Another human race, Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor on the side, said that the Aquarius race started the challenge and lost. Then their Tao Essence Divine Emperor comes out. They're really shameless. Luo Qinghe Sa Yi Mo looked at him, and he added, that Tao Nourishment Divine Emperor is a mortal goddess, sacred sect, Yuehe Divine Emperor. She said that, and the Aquarius race Tao Essence Divine Emperor was furious and just killed her. Qin Xuanji said dejectedly, seeing someone speak for me and get killed, I immediately attacked the Tao Essence Divine Emperor. However, this was all calculated. That Tao Essence Divine Emperor seemingly killed Yuehe Divine Emperor in anger, but he was waiting for me to attack. In fact, even if Martial Sister Xuanji didn't attack, Martial Sister Nanshuang charged up already. Luo Qinghe sighed. Then Yi Mo thought and asked, did more and more people from both sides join the battle, eventually getting to that situation? Yes. The two nodded. Seeing Wang Nanshuang come over here, Yi Mo immediately said, Qinghe, Xuanji, and Nanshuang come with me to the Void Marketplace guest hall. Pill Divine Yi, I'll go with you too. It was a human Tao Essence, Divine Emperor speaking. At the battle, one was him and the other was the Great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence, Divine Emperor. The Great Sun God Mountain Tao Essence, Divine Emperor seemed to know Yi Mo detested him and didn't come over. Luo Qinghe said, Martial Brother Yi, this is Su Feng Qianbei, who has always been staying Jin, the Void Marketplace. We've all been taken care by him many times. Okay, then you four come with me. Yi Mo then called Dong and Xian Yuxue over for them to gather the humans at the square to distribute the spots after he was done. Because of this, more and more human races, cultivators, came to the square. Pill Divine Yi, I'm late, count me in. Ciao, he landed in here with a dashing light. He was very annoyed that he didn't go to the battle. If he could help the human race kill a bunch of Aquarius race Divine Emperors, Yi Mo would be very grateful to him. He didn't think about the terrifying consequences of doing this. Yi Mo didn't want to bring Qiao here originally, but seeing him come, Yi Mo changed his mind. The Void Marketplace guest hall was the most important place for meeting guests in the Void Marketplace. Usually, when the powerful beings of different races came, the guest hall would be open to greet them. Now, it became the grounds to resolve conflicts. Everyone knew the conflict couldn't be resolved like this, but since they were all at the Void Marketplace, those mass battles wouldn't be allowed. The god rank square was filled with formation and restrictions, and that's why the place was still intact. If it was somewhere else, maybe the entire void marketplace would be destroyed. When Yi Mo and them came, there were already more than 10 divine emperors sitting in the hall. Other than Kong Han divine emperor and 5 Aquarius race Tao Essence divine emperors, there were 6 people from other races. Yi Mo saw that the Aquarius race Tao Essence, who lost half his body, had recovered his body. His chi was still unstable, but he was clearly recovering. Yi Mo thought to himself, it seemed the Aquarius race had quite a lot of good things. After Yi Mo and them sat down, Kong Han divine emperor said, such thing happening in the void marketplace affects us greatly. I invited 6 immortal friends who watched to come over. I hope people can talk things out and not let such thing happen again. Luo Qinghe saw Yi Mo glance at him, so he immediately got up and saluted with his fists, Kong Han divine emperor master, immortal friends. Although everyone knows the cause of this incident, I'll still say it again. Luo Qinghe just told the truth and sat back down. No one objected to Luo Qinghe's words, not even the Aquarius race Tao Essence divine emperors. There were this many people who saw what happened. Even if nobody saw it, there was still the huge surveillance formation. Despite this, Kong Han divine emperor still asked, does the Aquarius race have any objections to this? The Tao Essence, who lost half his body, got up and said, that's what happened indeed, but when Pill Divine ye came, I already called stop. However, Pill Divine ye still killed like crazy. I hope Pill Divine ye can make an explanation to this. The Aquarius race has been around for hundreds of millions of years. If we don't get a resolution to this, we won't let this go. Clearly the Aquarius race had no reason, and just because they were strong they dared to say such things. Kong Han divine emperor sneered. He wasn't going to care about the conflict between human and Aquarius race. At the same time, he was unhappy with Yi Mo. Before Yi Mo appeared, the human race divine emperors were very timid. Even if they were abused, no one would dare to have massive race fights like this. The reason the human race dared to do this time was definitely due to Yi Mo. Kong Han divine emperor still looked at Yi Mo and said, Pill Divine, ye represent the human race. Do you have any words to what immortal friend Xiaopu said? Yi Mo answered plainly, oh, I really didn't notice Xiaopu saying stop. But I'm very curious. Xiaopu was on the battlefield himself. If he's telling me to stop, then why is he fighting with a human race, Tao Actualization Divine Emperor? Is he not strong enough that he got suppressed by my human race, Tao Actualization Divine Emperor? Or is he just asking the human race to stop, not the Aquarius race? If that's the case, I understand. So he's asking the human race to raise our hands and get slaughtered by the Aquarius race. If that happens again, and I hear it, I will do as Xiaopu said. I will ask my fellow humans to stand still and let the Aquarius race kill them all. Qin Xuanji almost laughed at this. Xiaopu's face was extremely bleak, and he didn't talk about Yi Mo. Kong Han acted as though he didn't hear the sarcasm in Yi Mo's words and nodded. Since both sides became like this due to a misunderstanding, then make a decision. Xiaopu got up and said again, the Aquarius race is a big race, and we don't want to cause bloodshed all over a realm. If Pill Divine ye destroys his own power, then this thing will end. The leader of the human race now was Yi Mo. If he lost his power, then the human race would be abused however they liked. Yi Mo's predicament would also become extremely pitiful. Xiaopu's words meant that he wanted to kill all the humans in the void marketplace. Kong Han Divine Emperor then asked, what does Pill Divine ye think of immortal friends Xiaopu's request? Yi Mo got up slowly. Xiaopu's request is very reasonable. Maybe one day when I'm in a bad mood, I'll remember this. Kong Han Divine Emperor nodded again too and continued to ask, what requests does Pill Divine ye have? Yi Mo smiled. I'm very easy to talk to. I don't dare to make requests now. When I'm in a bad mood and I think about this, I will go to the Aquarius race and stomp my foot a few times. Kong Han Divine Emperor then looked at Xiaopu and asked, What does Yaopu Divine Emperor think of Pale Divine Ye's request? Very well. Yaopu forced down his anger and said, this was his first time seeing such a cocky human Tao actualization. Hearing this, Kong Han Divine Emperor got up and smiled. Very well. Everyone is very calm on this matter and agreed to each other's requests. This is a perfect resolution. I hope both sides won't cause trouble again in the void marketplace. At the same time, both sides need to pay 1 billion God crystals for compensation of damages. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2180 The Conditions for Repairing the Broken Realm. Chapter 2180 The Conditions for Repairing the Broken Realm. Yemo walked out of the guest palace, speechless. This Kong Han Divine Emperor really knew how to do nothing. But it was natural, as long as the human and Aquarius race didn't keep fighting in the void marketplace. He didn't care if the two sides could resolve the conflict. Yemo, you better hope the Divine Tao Realm can protect you. Otherwise, even if you run back to the Divine Tao Realm, the Aquarius race will go over. Don't make that broken realm even more broken. Yaopu was waiting for Yemo at the doors with a few other Tao Essence Divine Emperors. This time before Yemo said, Ciao, he said in contempt. Very well, I welcome you to go. If one goes, I'll kill one. If two goes, I'll kill two. Hearing this, Yaopu frowned. What does this have to do with the Guangyuan Palace? Ciao, do you know the consequences of saying this? Is the Guangyuan Palace going against the Aquarius race? Ciao, he said in contempt, go against the Aquarius race? You can represent the Aquarius race? Keep dreaming. I can represent the Palace Lord and kill you, but do you dare to start war with the Guangyuan Palace, representing the Aquarius race? Yaopu's face was green, and he turned to leave. Yemo said, slowly, Aquarius race coming to the Divine Tao Realm? You must not disappoint me then. If too little go, then don't blame me for going to the Aquarius race for a spin. Yemo didn't care much about the threat of the Aquarius race. He heard that they only had one primordial essence Divine Emperor, and one who hadn't been out for countless ages. Even if Zhu Wuhing's father can't go back to the Divine Tao Realm, then he would ask Guangyuan Palace Lord to stop the Aquarius Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. As for those below Primordial Essence, Yemo really wasn't scared. If he reached Tao Essence, then he didn't fear no matter how many Aquarius race came attacking Divine Tao Realm. Yaopu was very annoyed. He knew humans had no Primordial Essence, but Guangyuan Palace Lord was a primordial essence. He was famous amongst primordial essence. If he infuriated Guangyuan Palace, his threats would be useless. Even the Aquarius race had to consider things if Guangyuan Palace Lord became involved. The reason Aquarius race could become a huge race was because they had a sea, setting god needle, and primordial essence Divine Emperor. If something happened to their primordial essence Divine Emperor, the Aquarius race was nothing. Yemo and them went back to the God Rank Square. There were nearly 10,000 humans waiting for them. When they saw Yemo come over, they immediately stopped discussions. In the void marketplace, Yemo was the core of the human race, their confidence to stay in the void marketplace. Yemo set up a few restrictions and formations in closing this area before saying, in the battle just then, our human race lost tens of divine emperors but were united in the void marketplace and didn't lose face. In this battle, we've gotten more than 100 storage rings and some small worlds. There are many cultivation resources inside. I'll let Qinghe Divine Emperor distribute these to you later as compensation. Pale Divine Yi, you killed most of the Aquarius race. We can't take these cultivation resources. Someone said immediately. Su Feng got out and said, Pale Divine Yi, these storage ring are pretty much your battle loot. If it wasn't for you, not many divine emperors would have even survived. Su Feng wasn't bullshitting on this. When Kong Han Divine Emperor came to stop the battle, the Aquarius race had the lower hand. If the human race had the lower hand, would Kong Han Divine Emperor come out in time to stop them? No one knew. A Tao actualization peak stage divine emperor bowed to Yemo and said, Pil Divine Yi. The reason that the human race can even speak here is completely due to Pil Divine Yi. Otherwise, we will have no right to talk. Pil Divine Yi selflessly took out 30 Tao fruit tower spots to share between us. I was lucky to get one. For us humans who stay in the void marketplace long term, not having a leader is the scariest thing. We beg that Pil Divine, you be the leader of the human race, and please tell us if there are any other requirements for entering the Tao Fruit Tower. This Tao actualization peak stage didn't even talk about the battle loot, but everyone could tell that the reason human race had some status was due to Yemo. If they still wanted a share of the loot, it was too over the line. Yemo understood what this Tao actualization divine emperor meant. He thought of a while. His original plan was that all Tao actualization divine emperors who entered the Tao Fruit Tower and got Tao fruits would need to give some back to everyone. The way of giving back was for him to concoct pills. At the same time, those HWO wanted to go and had to pay some god crystals. But after that battle, Yemo's mindset changed. The reason he wanted to take part of the Tao fruits and god crystals was mainly for himself. But now he felt he needed to think for the human race. The human race's status in the void marketplace was low to a new extreme. He needed to think of ways to change this situation. Martial Brother Yi, the divine Tao realm is broken. Even if you help the human race this time, what about next time? I feel that the human race need to gather and work together to defend against other races. Luo Qing has said, he knew what the weakness of the human race was. The reason they weren't gathered was because they didn't have a leader. Now that Yemo appeared and got everyone's approval, Yemo had to stand up. Yemo knew what Luo Qinghe meant. If it wasn't that the divine Tao realm was so broken he was planning to have a sect in the divine Tao realm, why would he go back to the immortal realm? Yemo sighed. Pity the divine Tao realm is broken and can't be repaired. Otherwise, I would suggest everyone to go back to the divine Tao realm and have a home. The divine Tao realm was broken. If these divine emperors went back, where would they get the cultivation resources? Qin Xuanji suddenly walked up to Yemo and bowed. Martial Brother Yi, it's not impossible to repair the divine Tao realm. Qin Xuanji's words shocked not only Yemo, but everyone else. Divine Tao realm was the highest level realm, and it said that the battle royale of primordial essence divine emperors was what broke the divine Tao realm. Luo Qinghe said desperately, Martial Sister Xuanji, how to repair the divine Tao realm. As long as there's something I can do, I will do everything I can. Qin Xuanji said the primordial essence divine emperors fought over the chaos tree and used the divine Tao realm as a battlefield. That's what broke the divine Tao realm. Later, I realized that the battle wasn't just over the chaos tree. Yemo's face went serious and said, be more specific. Yes, the primordial essence divine emperors of different races used the opportunity of fighting for the chaos tree to set the battleground at the divine Tao realm. The primordial essence divine emperors of the divine Tao realm were in conflict, and no one cared about this. In the wake of the chaos tree, everything else didn't matter. In the end, more and more primordial essence divine emperors came to the divine Tao realm. When the divine Tao realm was shattered, those few human primordial essence divine emperors woke up, but it was too late. It said that there were still 5 human primordial essence divine emperors of the divine Tao realm. Those 5 primordial essence divine emperors were killed by the joined forces of other race primordial essence divine emperors. I don't know if people got away, but even if some did, their cultivation foundation would have been destroyed. What about the primordial essence divine emperor of other races? Luo Qinghe asked. The other primordial essence, divine emperors, were heavily injured. That's why there are rarely any primordial essence, divine emperors these days. They're all either perfecting their own world or recovering. Qin Xuanji said. Yi Mo said, slowly, tell us how to repair the divine Tao realm first. Qin Xuanji nodded. The news I got was that the divine Tao realm meridian was broken. In order to repair the divine Tao realm, one had to use the world mountain as the divine Tao realm's meridian and use the world tree to provide the divine Tao realm with life force. Only that would repair the divine Tao realm. Isn't the world tree the chaos tree? Luo Qing has said, and then showed a disappointed face. The divine Tao realm was broken due to the chaos tree, and he had only heard of the world mountain. They had never seen it. Everyone fell into silence. According to her words, it was impossible to repair the divine Tao realm. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2181 Divine Tao. Chapter 2181 Divine Tao. Secretary EMO was extremely shocked. The Chaos Tree was in his dantian, and he had seen the world mountain before. He even had a small piece of it in his golden page world. But if the world mountain he saw was the one Qin Xuanji was talking about, how could it appear in the Truthful Palace? It was just Truth Divine Emperor's magic artifact. Even if it was that world mountain, Yi Mo didn't believe it could be forged into the divine Tao realm's meridian. That world mountain was enormous, but the divine Tao realm was boundless. It's said to be the biggest realm in the universe. Plus, that world mountain had flown away to a place no one knew. Qin Xuanji said these are just two conditions for repairing the divine Tao realm. The most important one is to find Eternity Divine Emperor. Eternity Divine Emperor? Everyone looked at her in shock. In the vast universe, only primordial essence Divine Emperor can reach eternity. But no one even knew for sure. The title of Eternity Divine Emperor was too powerful. Who would dare to give himself such title? Yi Mo was even more shocked. If Qin Xuanji didn't say this, he would have forgotten his title was Eternity Divine Emperor. How would you know this? Yi Mo looked at Qin Xuanji and asked. Qin Xuanji hesitated and said, I got a huge fortune, and that's how my cultivation level improved so greatly. I knew about all this from that fortune. Even with the world mountain and tree, we need to find Eternity Divine Emperor to repair it. Su Feng sighed. Since Eternity Divine Emperor's title is eternity, I believe he must have existed for an eternity. Even if we found him, the world mountain and tree is too far of a hope. Seeing Evalion become dejected, Yi Mo suddenly said, Immortal friends, we're all human divine emperors. Even if you all reach primordial essence, you would be homeless if you lived somewhere else. I've decided to set up a sect at the Divine Tao realm called Divine Tao Sect. It's not built for anyone nor power. It's built for the entire Divine Tao realm. Everyone fell silent and listened to Yi Mo. The Divine Tao Sect will be built in the Divine Tao realm to bring the human race of the Divine Tao realm together again. The Divine Tao Sect won't allow the rule of the jungle in the Divine Tao realm. No Divine Tao city nor God Corner would be allowed to have strongest rules. Of course, most importantly, the mission of the Divine Tao realm is to repair the Divine Tao realm. Divine emperors have countless lifespan. Eventually, the Divine Tao realm will be repaired in our hands again. When Yi Mo said this, he deeply felt that no matter how powerful he was, he couldn't take this on alone. The Aquarius race could publicly threaten to kill the human race, but he could only watch this. If the human race was powerful to a new extent, how would they dare to say this? If the Divine Tao realm was complete, who would even go for the immortal realm? He was more confident than others in repairing the divine Tao realm. First, he was Eternity Divine Emperor. Second, he had Chaos Tree. Whether he was willing to use it depended on him. Third, he had seen the World Mountain. Perhaps he would be the only one who can find it. As soon as Yemo said this, Luo Qinghe yelled, "Sect leader Yi." Luo Qinghe is willing to join Divine Tao sect and return to the Divine Tao realm. Sect leader Su Feng is willing to join Divine Tao sect. Qin Xuanji is willing to join the Divine Tao sect. Shan Mu is willing to join the Divine Tao sect. Xian Yuxue. In a short while, a few hundred people joined the Divine Tao sect. Yemo said happily, "Very well. Today, the Divine Tao sect is established. I've got 100 or so storage rings from the Aquarius race. The things inside will be the resources for setting up our sect. Luo Qinghe, Su Feng, and Qin Xuanji will be the first, second, and third vice sect leader. After this, we'll buy the materials for building a sect in the Void Marketplace and bring back the humans who are willing to return to the Divine Tao realm and build the sect." The great Sun God Mountain's Tao essence Divine Emperor's face went pale. If the Divine Tao sect is built, even 30 divine sects won't be able to take on Divine Tao sect, much less 3. Suddenly, Yemo stared at the great Sun God Mountain Tao essence Divine Emperor and said, "On the account that you didn't run away from the conflict with the Aquarius race, I'll let you go on the past conflicts. But once you go back, go tell that great Sun God Mountain half-primordial essence, if he dares to spirit control the entire Divine Tao realm, I will turn him to dust." "Yes, I understand," the Tao essence Divine Emperor quickly said. This was a huge joy that Yemo let him go due to the Aquarius race conflict. As for whether the great Sun God Mountain Tao essence Divine Emperor would listen to Yemo's message, that wasn't his problem. He knew it wasn't quite likely the other Tao essence Divine Emperor was halfway primordial essence. "Sect leader, after the Tao Fruit Tower, you're not going back to the Divine Tao realm with us?" Luo Qinghe asked. Yemo said, "I have some things to do. At the same time, I know where the World Mountain is. I'll go search for it. Before you guys go back, I will leave some God pills for you guys to take back." "Sect leader, you know where the World Mountain is?" Su Feng and them asked at the same time. If Yemo found it, then even if they didn't find Eternity Divine Emperor, they could still repair the meridian of the Divine Tao realm if one of them reached primordial essence. That way, even without the World Tree, the Divine Tao realm wouldn't be like this. "I've seen it, but I'm not certain." Yemo said, "Sect leader, I've heard them all call you Pill Divine. I wonder what Pill Divine you are." Qin Xuanji asked while everyone was excited. Everyone looked at Yemo, wanting to know what God pills the sect leader of the Divine Tao sect could concoct. Yemo smiled. "I can concoct Tao Essence God pills. Tao Essence Pill Divine." Hearing this, the room was dead silent. Tao Essence Pill Divine was rarer than Primordial Essence Divine Emperor. They completely didn't expect this. Didn't that mean that as long as they had God Spirit items, they would all be able to turn into God pills? Luo Qinghe and them finally realized why Void Marketplace Merchant Tower was so polite to Yemo. At the same time, they realized why Qiao, he from Guang Yuan Palace, followed Yemo suddenly. A flaming red flying sword fell into Yemo's hands. Yemo grabbed it and felt a message. It was Tian Rui and Kong Han Divine Emperor inviting him over. Yemo knew he couldn't reject this, so he patted Luo Qinghe, who was still in disbelief, and said, "Qinghe, I'll leave the Tao Fruit Tower spots to you." Then Yemo said to Su Feng and Qin Xuanji, "Please calculated the people joining Divine Tao sect and the resources we got before, and turn those God crystals into sect building material and bring it back to the Divine Tao realm. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2182 Invitation of Half Primordial Essence. Chapter 2182 Invitation of Half Primordial Essence. The VIP place was much smaller than the guest palace, but more exquisite. When they saw Yi Mo come in, Tian Rue and Kong Han Divine Emperor got up politely. Pill Divine, Yi is very busy now, but we invited you over. Please forgive us. Tian Rue said with full spirit. He didn't seem like the fatigued him before. Yi Mo didn't know why these two called him over, but he wasn't worried. He checked this VIP tower. There was no special restriction. Kong Han Divine Emperor poured a cup of tea for Yi Mo and then started to chat with Yi Mo about casual things. Yi Mo didn't want to waste time with these two, but he didn't want to bring it up. He was planning to leave if these two kept wasting time. As though realizing what Yi Mo thought, Tian Rue Divine Emperor soon said, Pill Divine Yi, you probably know great primordial god, rune god, art right? Yi Mo instantly realized that the two could tell he knew great primordial god, rune, from his falling mark sword rune. Yi Mo's facial expression didn't even change. He smiled, yes, a little bit. Now, even in initial mastery. Oh, I didn't expect Pill Divine Yi to have such fortune. Despite knowing that Yi Mo probably knew it, they were still extremely shocked when Yi Mo admitted it. Yi Mo knew that even if he didn't say where he learned the great primordial god rune, the two would ask him, so he said, 100 years ago, I've been to a void marketplace auction. I bought the great primordial god rune from there and spent 3 billion god crystals and a god spirit range. Hearing this, the two excited half-primordial essences were a little disappointed indeed. Since Yi Mo was the person who bought the great primordial god rune, then there was no way he was the demon Tao essence who tore open the void. They would rather Yi Mo be that demon divine. Pill Divine Yi is very strong. Are you Tao essence divine emperor already? Kong Han Divine Emperor asked. Hearing this and considering their disappointed face, Yi Mo immediately knew what was going on. They thought he was the demon Tao essence who bought the light heart 100 years ago. That's why they called him over to test him. No wonder they were suspicious. He used the great primordial god rune fruit to buy things, so it was no strange thing that he knew great primordial god rune. Then his Zi-Su was extremely strong, so they suspected he used Zi-Su to tear open the void. Yi Mo rejoiced. He was really lucky. If there was no great primordial god rune sold at the auction, they would be even more suspicious of him. But he knew that if these two investigated at Shadow Void Castle, they would definitely know he bought the light heart. As the exchange social people knew, he sold the great primordial god rune fruit. However, Yi Mo wasn't worried about this. By the time they investigated and knew the results, he would have definitely left the void marketplace. Yi Mo wasn't scared of these two, but the light heart was too precious. If he exposed it, he wouldn't be able to stay alive. No, I'm still Tao Actualization Divine Emperor. I'm a Pill Divine otherwise. I would want to go to the Tao Fruit Tower too. Yi Mo said casually. After realizing Yi Mo wasn't the person they were looking for, the two divine emperors lost interest. Yi Mo got up to leave. He knew he had to leave the void marketplace quickly. At this moment, the 3 vice sect leaders had arranged everything and came to Yi Mo's place. There were a total of 673 divine emperors and immortal friends going back to the divine Tao realm with them. Sect leader Luo Qinghe was going to report more. Yi Mo waved his hand. Wait, we don't need to be like this. Just call each other martial brothers. Plus, I really do have some martial brother relationship with you. Luo Qinghe looked at Yi Mo in confusion and asked, Martial brother Yi, what do you mean? Yi Mo smiled. Have you been to Luo Yu continent, martial brother Qinghe, or did you ascend from there? Luo Qinghe got up in surprise and joy. Martial brother, Yi knows of Luo Yu continent? I ascended from there, but because I've been a solo cultivator, I didn't have sect heritage. I found a piece of a god cultivation chant, and I used that to ascend to the immortal realm. How did you know I came from the Luo Yu continent? Because I ascended from Luo Yu continent too. The Qinghe god cultivation chant you left behind was found by a sword cultivator called Su Changji. The latter part was missing, so I filled it up for you. Yemo said. Luo Qinghe already felt warm when Yemo said he was from Luo Yu continent. Now that Yemo said he edited the cultivation method for him, Luo Qinghe felt even better. He asked desperately, "How is my disciple's talent? What's his cultivation level now?" Yemo laughed. "You only left a part of a sword chant and you want to be master. It's not that easy." "Martial brother Yi, aren't we in the same sect now?" Luo Qinghe said awkwardly. Yemo smiled. "I won't fight over disciple with you. I call Su Changji Martial brother Su. We'll teach our own disciples." Luo Qinghe said in embarrassment. "No wonder, martial brother, you let martial brother Qinghe be the first sect leader. You're already related." Qin Xuanji joked. Yemo sighed. He already told them about how he came from the immortal realm, hearing that Yemo built a MOU immortal sect in the immortal realm. They've long wanted to go see. The group chatted for a while before Su Feng said, "Martial brother, I've counted the Aquarius race storage ring. There's 17 extreme grade god artifact. The rest, or half extreme grade, or top grade Ta. There's also a fake primordial spirit artifact. There's 19 small worlds, countless materials, and God's spirit herbs. There's 29, 3 billion top grade god crystals, 5 extreme grade god spirit range, 27 top grade god spirit range, and 29 middle grade and low grade god spirit range. There's countless god pills." Yemo took in a cold breath. The Aquarius race is very wealthy. That battle royale earned him more than selling the 13 spots. The 4 Tao Essence Divine Emperor's storage ring are very plentiful. Su Feng added. Yemo took out a storage ring to Su Feng and said, "There are some god pill and god artifacts I've made. Give the pill concoction and forgery materials to me, and take the god pill and god artifact back to develop the sect." "Sect leader, you're an artifact divine too?" Qin Xuanji looked dazedly at Yemo. A pill divine was already extremely time-consuming. If this pill divine was still an artifact divine, just how absurd would things be? Yemo didn't hide it and said, "I can forge some god artifact, but the materials are very hard to get. Thus, my forgery skills are a bit weaker than my pill concoction skills." Yemo continued, "The Divine Tao sect is about to build. The materials we'll need is an astronomical number. Before the Tao Fruit Tower, Martial Brother Qing, he and Martial Sister Xuanji can ask for Xing Hong Divine Emperor to buy the things we need. After the Tao Fruit Tower finishes, we'll leave immediately. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2183, Luo Yu, Tao, Fruit Shop. Chapter 2183, Luo Yu, Tao, Fruit Shop. Tao Fruit Tower was the Chaos Tower. Although people often said it was in the Void Marketplace and belonged to it, but its actual location wasn't in the Void Marketplace. It was in the void between realms. There was only one way to the Tao Fruit Tower, and that was the entrance from the Void Marketplace. There was also a huge square at the entrance. It was the Tao Fruit Tower Square. Every time the Tao Fruit Tower opened, there would be all sorts of stalls. At the deepest part of the square was a teleportation formation to the Tao Fruit Tower. This teleportation formation wasn't set up by anyone. It was naturally here. Anyone who went in would be teleported to the first level of the Tao Fruit Tower. At this moment, the square was completely filled. The Tao Fruit Tower was open. Those who wanted to go in could enter now. Zhu Wuheng was nowhere to be seen during this period, but he came very early today. One didn't need any identity, jade card to enter the Dao Fruit Tower. They can only enter the teleportation formation. Anyone can enter, but the teleportation will only happen once for 999 people. The 30 people of the human race were all here. However, Yemo was surprised to find that it wasn't just Zhu Wuheng, who was a Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor, but also Ji Shi, who was a Dao Nourishment Divine Emperor and got a spot. Yi Mo immediately realized who gave it. Wang Nanchuang got 2 spots, and she gave one to Ji Shi. Yi Mo didn't want to say much about it. When Ji Shi saw Yi Mo look over, she quickly looked down. She was really scared Yi Mo would suddenly take her spot away. If Yi Mo did this, there was nothing she could do. The Great Sun God Mountain also had 3 spots. Other than Dong, and there was 1 man and woman. They were also Dao Actualization Peak Stage. The people who bought the 13 spots came to the human race area too. They were from all sorts of races, and even an Aquarius race, but Yemo didn't care. Tian Rui and Kong Han came to the Dao Fruit Tower Square. Kong Han stood in the air and said loudly, "The Dao Fruit Tower is open. Can the divine emperors of different races stand separately? The god rank people stand separately too." Instantly, the space before the teleportation formation was split into tens of groups. Yi Mo noticed that their group of 42 was huge. The biggest group was the god rank group. There were hundreds there. When Yi Mo saw Wan Tong Tong, she saw Yi Mo too. She quickly looked down just like Ji Shi. Clearly, she had heard of what Yi Mo did at the Void Marketplace. If it wasn't for the Dao Fruit Tower, she would never appear here. Kong Han Divine Emperor looked at the people and said, "There's 999 spots, now that there's only 994 people here. The Void Marketplace will auction these 5 spots," Yi Mo realized. No wonder Kong Han and Tian Rui were so eager to come. Such method of auction was way better than what he did. If he did this, he would get much higher price with all these people here. But Yi Mo knew that was implausible. This was the Void Marketplace. If he did that, it would definitely offend the 2-half primordial essence. In just 10 seconds, the 5 spots were gone. The price was more than 15 billion god crystals and 2 god spirit range. Yi Mo was speechless. The 999 people were gathered and teleported away. Many merchant towers started to release their shop at obvious places in the square. They wanted to buy the Dao fruits. Some big merchant associations also sent people over too. Yi Mo didn't go in the Dao Fruit Tower just so he could buy Dao Fruit Hair Ace. He chose the most obvious place and built the largest shop, Luo Yu Dao Fruit Shop. It displayed all the fine details. What was most attractive was that they could help people who had Dao fruit concoct Dao fruit god pills. This was something only Dao actualization pill divines could do. The Dao fruit of the first level was 5-element heaven fruit. This Dao fruit could be concocted into 5-element Dao fruit god pill. It can help people learn 5-element god art. The fee is half the price. If pill concoction fails, there would be compensation. The second level had Fu Lu fruit. It was something more precious than Du Yuan Ai. It could be made into Buddha Lu God Eye pill. It can allow people to cultivate god eyes that, at the extreme, can let your eyes pierce a realm. This was also something that needed a top Dao actualization pill divine to concoct. There was still promise of compensation for failure. The third level Dao fruit was dustless fruit. The shop only bought it as the Dao fruit couldn't be used in pill concoction. The fourth level Dao fruit was abstruse heaven fruit. It can be concocted into abstruse heaven pill. It was a pill to help learn god art. It was most suited for wind, ice, and lightning god art. The fifth was purple heaven Dao fruit. It helped Dao nourishment divine emperor break through to Dao actualization divine emperor. It can be made into purple heaven pill. The sixth level was flowing light fruit. It was a real Tao law fruit. Divine emperors could use this to learn laws of the universe, including space and time law. The shop only bought and didn't concoct pills with it. The 7th level was Qian essence fruit. To all the Tao actualization divine emperors in the tower, this was the most precious Tao fruit, other than people like Yi Mo, who didn't want to use Tao fruit to reach Tao essence divine emperor. No being below Tao essence could resist its temptations. This Tao fruit couldn't be concocted to pills. The shop was willing to pay heavy price and negotiate terms. The 8th level was heaven martial, void, breaking fruit. This was more precious than Qian essence fruit, but less valuable to cultivators, as this was a martial Tao fruit. It couldn't be used in pill concoction too. The 9th level was primordial essence, dusk fruit. Just from the name, one could tell it was related to primordial essence. However, ever since the Tao fruit tower existed, no one was able to get it, so the shop didn't list this fruit. In all off Luoyu shop's lists, it was full compensation for pill concoction failure and 50% pill fee. Those competing merchants saw this advertisement and wanted to die. With such conditions, who would be able to compete with Luoyu? No pill divine dared to promise compensation for pill concoction failure. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2184 Shadow, Void Young, Castle Master. Chapter 2184 Shadow, Void Young, Castle Master. We're late. A handsome-looking man brought a few divine emperors to the Tao Fruit Tower Square and saw stalls everywhere. Young Castle Master. There's still a few spots at the corner. We can place our stall there. A Tao actualization divine emperor said. They were scared the stalls would be taken, but more scared that the young castle master would cause trouble here. All those who could set up stall here weren't weak. They were either a powerful faction or a powerful sect. The young castle master frowned and sneered. The name of our shadow, Void, castle dominates the void. How can we choose a corner? That would be a joke. Su Yang, go negotiate with some stall owners and see if we can pay some god crystals. Luo Yu Dao Fruit Shop. He wanted to let his men negotiate with someone who had weaker power than the Shadow Void Castle to buy a stall, but then he saw Luo Yu Dao Fruit Shop. He saw that the place was the most obvious and largest. It wasn't that he wanted this place. They could take such a large place, meaning that they clearly weren't ordinary people. He asked because he had never heard of such power. Su Yang, have you heard of this Luo Yu Dao Fruit Stall? How come I've never heard of it? The young castle master asked the Tao actualization divine emperor next to him. Then he looked at 2 Tao essence divine emperors and asked, have 2 elders heard of them before? The man and woman shook their head. They were delayed on their trip to the Void Marketplace and thus didn't hear about Yi Mo slaying demon divine emperors and dominating the Aquarius race. Su Yang was scared the young castle master would be rash and said, Young castle master, how about I go ask? Perhaps we can ask them for pill concoction. Looking at their sign, it's quite scary. The young castle master nodded. Since the stall is set there, they're definitely not ordinary. Be polite when you ask. Hearing this, Su Yang rejoiced. The young castle master was usually very cocky. To be able to say this, it was a huge improvement. Haha. So it's Shadow Void Castle Young Castle Master, Lu Tai immortal friends. Long time no see. A warm voice sounded. Then a man who looked on par with the young castle master came over. His extremely handsome face was surrounded with this shocking chi. Those who knew would recognize it was demonic wave. This person was the Tao Essence Demon, representing the demon race at the Tao Fruit Tower distribution. He was called Sidu Hong. Seeing this, young castle master felt a little overwhelmed and said, so it's Situ Qian Bei. Qian, they haven't been to the Shadow Void Castle for a long time. Lu Tai miss you very much. Situ Hong laughed. Young Castle Master is too polite. We're no outsiders. Just call me Brother Situ from now. How has Castle Master been lately? Hearing this, young Castle Master was overjoyed and quickly said, My father is in solitary cultivation. Castle Master is really a talented person. We're so much lesser than him. Situ Hong sighed and asked, By the way, why did young Castle Master only come now? Lu Tai sighed, Due to some things happening in the void, we wasted some time. Now that we're here, there's not even a space left for us. If I go back, Father will definitely reproach me. Situ Hong also said with a pity, Yeah, the Dao fruits are no small matter. If the Shadow Void Castle has no spots this time, the losses would be huge. Situ Hong hesitated and suddenly said, Young Castle Master, how about this? You can come to our demon race, and I'll give half my stall to young Castle Master. How can that work? It would be troubling Brother Situ. Lu Tai's heart was very warm. He didn't expect Situ Hong to take him this seriously. Situ Hong said gloriously, This isn't hard. The Castle Master helped me a lot before, and you've helped me quite a lot too. Seeing Situ Hong be so polite, Lu Tai said, Brother Situ, I do need to ask you about something. How come I've never heard of that Luo Yu Dao fruit shop? Their stall is huge, and it's in the center of the square. Situ Hong glanced at it and said in contempt, If it wasn't for Xing Hong, I would have kicked him away. That stall owner knows Xing Hong and Kong Han Divine Emperor through pill concoction. He's just a human solo cultivator, and he's only Dao actualization Divine Emperor. It's normal that you haven't heard of him. What? Lu Tai looked at Situ Hong in shock. A solo cultivator dared to have such a huge spot in the square. Situ Hong suddenly thought of something and said, Young Castle Master, I'm busy. I'll be leaving first. If you have no spot, feel free to come to me. Okay, thank you, Brother Situ. Lu Tai felt very good. Young Castle Master, I feel Situ Hong's words are strange. That Dao Essence Divine Emperor set up a sound barrier restriction and said, Why? Lu Tai, who was going to walk towards Luo Yu Dao fruit shop, stopped. The Dao Essence Divine Emperor said first, he came at such a strange time and he's too nice to young Castle Master. Situ Hong isn't someone that easy to talk to, and yet he's giving his stall. Although he's close to Xing Hong, it's not at the level he would give such space over. Third, even if he's close to Xing Hong, what about Beast Race, Aquarius Race, and Abyssal Race? We've just come here. It's best that we investigate what the shop is in case we fall into a trap. Lu Tai thought for a moment and said, Elder, she is right. Situ Hong is indeed a bit strange. We just came to the Void Marketplace and don't know a lot of things. He saw us come to the square and knew we needed a stall. He even overheard us before coming over. But if that stall owner is really close to Kong Han Divine Emperor, it's plausible. The Dao Essence woman suddenly said, There's also Dragon and Phoenix Race. Even Kong Han Divine Emperor wouldn't be able to let Demon, Abyssal, and Aquarius Race give over such a good spot. The Luo Yu shop isn't simple. Suddenly the woman looked at the door of the shop with disbelief. Elder Pu, what did you notice? The young Castle Master asked quickly. The Dao Essence Divine Emperor belonged to the Tsangsu Dao Exchange Social, and not the Shadow Void Castle. They were cooperating. If the owner of the shop is the person who just came out, I've seen him and I know a little about him. The Dao Essence Divine Emperor said. Lu Tai felt the Dao Essence Divine Emperor's tense tone and asked carefully, Elder Pu, is his origin big? The woman shook her head. He's indeed a human Divine Emperor from the Divine Dao realm. When I first saw him, he only seemed to be Dao nourishment, but now he's Dao actualization. He definitely hid his power. Immortal friends, Pu, where did you see him? The Shi Dao Essence asked. At the Tsangsu Dao Exchange Social. He had a lot of good things and then had conflict with Demon Dao Essence, Mo Fu, over the 9-star bamboo. He was stopped at the Immortal Rest Tower for nearly 3 years. After 3 years, this person left and Mo Fu left with him. The woman said, "Then what happened? Did Elder Fu follow them?" The young castle master asked. He knew she would definitely go check. She nodded, "Yes, I did. I ended up seeing Mo Fu's broken magic artifact. Ever since then, I've never seen Mo Fu again, but today I saw the human divine emperor again. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2185, Want You Mo Stall. Chapter 2185, Want You Mo Stall, He Killed Mo Fu. The young castle master asked in surprise, and then he said, "No wonder Situ Hong wants to stir up trouble." Young castle master, I feel that Situ Hong probably doesn't know that he killed Mo Fu. If Situ Hong knew that, then even if the stall owner knew Tian Rui Divine Emperor, Situ Hong wouldn't be letting him sit there. The Tao Actualization Divine Emperor called Sulwan said. The young castle master nodded. "Since we know he is, we can let him have his way. Give him a small space and pay him some god crystals compensation. A human race Tao Essence Divine Emperor is not much to me." The Shi Tao Essence Divine Emperor and Sulwan Tao Actualization Divine Emperor didn't say anything hearing this, but the female Tao Essence Divine Emperor said, "Young castle master, I think it's best that we don't start trouble. If the human race Divine Emperor only had that much power, Situ Hong wouldn't be using your hands to kill him." The reason she said this was because she had this deep concern with Yi Mo. She hadn't seen the exact fight between Yi Mo and Mo Fu, but she saw the void formation flags Yi Mo left behind. This meant that Yi Mo used formations to kill Mo Fu. The reason Yi Mo had to use formations was because he was weaker than Mo Fu. Someone who was weaker than Mo Fu used all sorts of means to kill him. How could he not know the danger of taking such a stall on the Tao Fruit Tower Square? However, she had tried persuading the young castle master. She wasn't a part of the Shadow Void Castle. She already said what needed to be said. What the young castle master did was his choice. Lu Tai smiled. "Elder Pu, don't worry. This thing definitely won't get Song Su Dao exchange social involved. Plus, with such a huge shop, we'll definitely earn big this time. Situ Hong isn't necessarily starting trouble between us. He doesn't dare not to take into account my father. Plus, how much benefits has Situ Hong taken from Xing Hong? It's normal that he's embarrassed to offend Xing Hong. Just watch me." Pu Hoshi could only follow over. The reason Yi Mo was here alone was because he asked the rest of the people to buy all sorts of sect building materials in the Void Marketplace, in order for them to not get abused. Yi Mo let Xiao He follow them. Although Xing Hong helped him a lot, there were many things he needed to go by himself. When Yi Mo came out of the shop, he saw Pu Hoshi. Even though the young castle master walked at the front, Yi Mo only knew her. "Immortal friends, you're a human race, Pill Divine, right? How may I refer to you?" "I'm from the Shadow Void Castle, Lu Tai. I'm the young castle master." Lu Tai saluted with his fists. Yi Mo immediately thought that Lu Tai came to ask him for pill concoction and saluted with his fists. "I'm Yi Mo. Is the young castle master here to ask me for pill concoction?" Lu Tai pointed at Yi Mo's sign and laughed. "Pill Divine, Yi is really bold. Not everyone dares to set up such plate. Although Elder Xing Hong is a powerful figure of the Void Marketplace, not everyone cares about him." Yi Mo frowned. He didn't really understand what Lu Tai meant. What's his signs got to do with Xing Hong? Lu Tai said again, "Immortal friends, I wasted some time on the way here, so I came late. Can you do this? How about you give part of your stall to me, and I'll pay you some god crystals or something else. Of course, if anyone else looks for your trouble, I can help you. You came to take my stall? Yi Mo immediately realized what this young castle master meant. Lu Tai smiled and nodded, yes, don't worry. I will compensate you god crystals. Just divide out 10%. Hearing this, Yi Mo wasn't too annoyed. His stall was huge. Giving him 10% for some god crystals was okay. Plus, when he was hunted by Mo Fu, it was Shadow Void Castle's immortal rest tower that helped him. The Shadow Void Castle needs to buy a lot of things, so I might need some larger area. 10% of the area should be enough for you. Immortal friends, what do you think? Lu Tai looked at Yi Mo confidently. He didn't believe that Yi Mo could really concoct those god pill he proclaimed. Yi Mo's stall was purely to cheat people's Dao fruits. Since it was cheating, there will be conflicts. Now that he was going to back Yi Mo up, Yi Mo would definitely want this. Yi Mo looked at Lu Tai like he was an idiot. He thought the 10% was for the young castle master, but this idiot meant it was for him. Why did this idiot feel so good about himself? If it wasn't that he spoke nicely, Yi Mo would have kicked him away already. I don't think so. Yi Mo didn't want to offend Shadow Void Castle, but he wasn't going to give him 10% anymore. Hearing this, Lu Tai's face went cold. He thought he was polite enough to this human divine emperor, and yet he dares to be so cocky. Elder, she Lu Tai called. He knew he was no match for Yi Mo Elder. She went up immediately as his powerful realm domain instantly bound Yi Mo, while he grabbed at Yi Mo. In front of outsiders, the face of the young castle master need to be preserved. The same time Yi Mo was bound, he felt the nearby space pause. He immediately knew this was time law. Time law was thought to be the most terrifying law. It was the hardest to learn, but once you learned it, it was extremely powerful. Yi Mo learned time law due to a lightning sound age's fruit. He studied time law by himself. Now that he saw someone ELE's time law, he didn't want to break free. He closed his eyes to feel it. Yi Mo really didn't fear an ordinary Dao Essence divine emperor. When Elder she heard that Yi Mo killed Mo Fu, he was concerned with Yi Mo Fu was stronger than him, but lately he learned a time law god art. If he fought against Mo Fu now, he wouldn't be scared. In order to scare Yi Mo, Elder she used his strongest god art immediately. When he saw that Yi Mo couldn't even stay awake in his time law, he knew that he overestimated Yi Mo. Pu Hoshi watched on the side in confusion. She didn't understand why Yi Mo couldn't even struggle. Elder she's hand grabbed at Yi Mo's neck, but when his hands were about to touch Yi Mo, he felt Yi Mo's neck move and he grabbed on Yi Mo's shoulder. He didn't plan to kill Yi Mo. Other people thought the miss was nothing, but this Elder she knew very clearly this was extremely powerful space law. Elder she's hands grabbed on Yi Mo's shoulder, and this extremely powerful force came. He felt his fingers ache, and then there was a cracking sound. The Dao Essence Divine Emperor knew his fingers had all broke. Then he saw a foot kick on his face. He was kicked flying without resistance. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2186 Shocking News. Chapter 2186 Shocking News. When this Dao Essence old man flew out, half his face was destroyed by Yi Mo's kick. He was shocked, but at the same time rejoiced that Yi Mo didn't kill him. Lu Tai looked at this scene in extreme shock. He felt his surroundings completely freeze. At the same time, he was grabbed by a huge god essence hand and thrown on the ground. Lu Tai was scared soulless. He had been careful enough, but he didn't expect this Yi Mo could easily smash away his Dao Essence Divine Emperor. This power was no weaker than his father. Young Castle Master Lu, I still don't want to give 90% of my stall to you. What do you think? Yi Emo looked at Lu Tai, who was under his foot, and said. Lu Tai finally realized why Yi Emo could have his stall here. Yi Emo had the power. Even Tao Essence was no match for him. Such stall was nothing. His life was in Yi Emo's hands now. He quickly said, Qian Bei. Wan Bei was ignorant. On the account that you stayed at my immortal rest tower for a few years, please show mercy. If it was some other divine emperor, he would be furious and embarrassed hearing this, but Yi Emo didn't. He was indeed grateful to that immortal rest tower. Otherwise, he wouldn't even be willing to give him 10%. That's why Yi Emo didn't kill Lu Tai and the Tao Essence next to him. Immortal friends, on that account, please don't attack. Pu Hoshi was worried seeing Lu Tai was stomped on the ground. She helped Yi Emo before at the Tao Exchange Social. Yi Emo didn't keep stepping on Lu Tai, but didn't let him go either. He looked at Pu Hoshi and said, Since he's in my hands, name a price. I'm willing to pay 10 billion God crystals, Lu Tai immediately said before Pu Hoshi could speak. Pu Hoshi sighed. She could tell that Yi Emo didn't plan to kill Lu Tai. Otherwise, he could just kill Lu Tai and all his belongings would be his. In such situation, Yi Emo would be settled with at most 5 billion God crystals. But now, this young castle master said 10 billion. Hearing this, Yi Emo envied the wealth of the Shadow Void Castle. 10 billion was no small number, but this Lu Tai gave it out so easily. Seeing Lu Tai take out a storage ring, Yi Emo let go off the pressure and yelled, Piss off! Yes, Lu Tai quickly charged out of the range of the shop and went with the other divine emperors of the castle to a corner at the square. Pu Hoshi heard Yi Emo's sound transmission before she left, telling her to keep her mouth tight. How could she not know now that Yi Emo killed Emo Fu? Even if Yi Emo didn't tell, she wouldn't dare to spread things. That bastard, how dare he set me up? Lu Tai cursed. If he still didn't know by now that he was set up by Situ Hong, he would be an idiot. Situ Hong clearly wanted Yi Emo to kill him, but Yi Emo didn't. Lu Tao Essence had recovered his injuries and said in confusion that Situ Hong probably has some conflict with Yi Emo, so he set up young Castle Master to attack Yi Emo. He definitely thought Yi Emo would kill young Castle Master, but that Yi Emo is strange. Does he know that the young Castle Master was set up? He didn't kill young Castle Master and just took some God crystals. Some God crystals? 10 billion is some God crystals? This Yi bastard is no good person. Lu Tai felt the pain now. He knew that Yi Emo was extremely scary. Otherwise, how could Situ Hong use him to offend Yi Emo? Young Castle Master, you must not say that. The Tao Actualization Divine Emperor sent out to get intel came back and quickly said, What did you find out? The young Castle Master immediately beamed nervous. He lost face and lost 10 Bellino God crystals after being taught a lesson. There was no way he wasn't annoyed. This was enough to get his father involved. He was ready to notify the Castle Master, his father. But before he did that, he had to know what Yi Emo did at the Void Marketplace to dare to take such a stall. Su Luan quickly said that Yi Emo is said to be a Tao Actualization Pill Divine, and some people even say he's Tao Essence Pill Divine. Before we came to the Void Marketplace, the human race had a huge clash with the Aquarius race under his lead. Pill Divine Yi killed 4 Tao Essence Divine Emperor alone and more than 100 Divine Emperors below Tao Essence. What? Everyone from the Shadow Void Castle was dazed, just like when Su Luan first heard this. Yi Emo dared to lead the declined human race to fight with the Aquarius race and dared to kill more than 100 Aquarius race? Was he not scared of death? Why was he still alive now? Lu Tai had completely calmed down now. The reason he thought Yi Emo didn't kill him before was because Yi Emo was scared of the Shadow Void Castle. Now it didn't seem so at all. Yi Emo wasn't even scared of the Aquarius race. Continue. The young Castle Master breathed and said slowly. He rejoiced that he didn't impulsively send a message to his father. Otherwise, this thing might not end well. The Shadow Void Castle was strong, but they had no primordial essence Divine Emperor. Seeing the young castle master calm down, Sulwan said, during that battle, twice the amount of Aquarius race died. Not only that, the human race has become very united under Yemo. In the void marketplace, no one would abuse the human race for no reason. This Dao Fruit Tower opening, the human race took back the 30 spots that belonged to them and got 14 more. So amazing! Pu Hoshi and the other Lu Dao Essence Divine Emperor gasped. The Dao Essence Divine Emperors here at the Void Marketplace were the strong ones of every race. Yemo could take 44 spots at the distribution as absurdity amongst absurdity. Not only so, Yemo killed Demon Race Dao Essence Divine Emperor Gongxiang and beat Abyssal Race Dao Essence Divine Emperor Zhongli Huoyin and robbed 5 spots from each. Hearing this, all the Divine Emperors here gasped in disbelief. After a long while, Lu Tai cursed. No wonder Situ Hong wanted to trick us. Yi Mo killed Demon Race, Dao Essence Divine Emperor, and so they want us to fight with Yi Mo, and then I would call my father over. Then my father would fight Yi Mo while they watched. The Lu Dao Essence Divine Emperor nodded. It's probably so. If they called a half primordial essence, first it would take too long. Second, they would have no reason to fight. After all, being killed at the Dao Fruit Tower distribution was normal. The human race had killed countless human race divine emperors. Luckily, young Castle Master was calm. Now, we just lost some god crystals. Pu Hoshi sighed. The Aquarius race is a precedent. They might have had conflict with Yemo, but it wasn't to the point of large-scale battles. They were definitely set up by the demon race. The young Castle Master did the right thing. We just lost some god crystals. Hearing 2 Dao Essence Divine Emperors compliment him, Lu Tai felt great about himself and nodded. We'll pretend we don't know this. After we buy enough Dao fruits, we'll go back to the castle and tell this to my father. A few days later, Qiao He, Xianyu Shui, Gubiying, and a few more human race divine emperors came back. In a few days, they've spent most of their god crystals, and the materials for sect building were pretty much prepared. Seeing more and more human divine emperors come to Yi Mo stall, Lu Tai rejoiced even more that he did the right thing. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2187 Dao Fruit Tower closes S. Chapter 2187 Dao Fruit Tower closes S. There were a lot of Dao fruits in the Dao Fruit Tower, but the time allowed in was too short, only 10 days. Powerful people could charge up to the 7th level in the 10 days, but weaker ones could only stay below 7th level. Those weak and unlucky ones might still be on the 2nd level after 10 days. Yi Mo didn't go in because the time was short and he knew his Dao vindication path. If he went in, those Dao waves would affect his own Dao. 10 days passed in an instant. On the 10th day, even the extremely spacious Dao Fruit Tower Square was full. Kong Han and Tian Rui, Divine Emperor, came to the Dao Fruit Tower Square. Yi Mo thought even if there were halfway primordial essences to come, there would just be a few, but now Yi Mo realized he was wrong. A few powerful spirit scents scanned outside his restriction. Yi Mo knew that this was people no weaker than Kong Han Divine Emperor. Not only so, Yi Mo saw the 2 half-primordial essences at the auction. Their spirit sense was very familiar. Yi Mo guessed that there were at least 6 halfway primordial essences at the square. One of them entered the Aquarius race, and another entered the Beast race stall. Yi Mo watched the Aquarius won the most. No matter what, he definitely knew the conflict between the human and Aquarius race. The reason they didn't attack yet was one to show respect to the Void Marketplace, but another reason was to let him buy the Dao fruits for them. Realizing this, Yi Mo didn't worry anymore. If there was just one halfway primordial essence, it would be easy to deal with. If there were two, things would be a bit troublesome. Luckily, he was prepared and made the buys needed. The black restrictions of the end of the square emitted white lights suddenly. These white lights rattled the black restrictions. The Dao Fruit Tower is about to close. People are coming out. The white light disappeared and the black restriction was open. A few hundred Dao actualization divine emperors quickly dispersed. A few Dao actualization divine emperor immediately dashed out of the square and disappeared. Clearly, they're from the god rank. More stayed, as they knew staying here was the safest. If they didn't have confidence, charging out of the void marketplace now was the stupidest action. Nearly 100 people went into the tower, but less than 900 came out. Yi Mo scanned the human race Dao actualization divine emperors. 32 people went in, but 30 came out. Without a doubt, those two had died inside. Luo Qinghe, Qin Xuanji, Wang Nanchuang, Dong'in, and so all came out safely. None of them left the square, and all came to Yi Mo's stall. Looking at their faces, Yi Mo immediately knew that they harvested a lot. Martial brother, the greatest harvest for me this time is 2 Qian essence fruit. I also got 6 more Dao fruits on top of that, Luo, Qinghe said excitedly. Yi Mo immediately gathered the 30 divine emperors and said, "Those who got 5-element heaven fruit, Fu Lu fruit, abstruse heaven fruit, purple heaven Dao fruit came leave the Dao fruit with me. I will concoct them into God pill. As for the other Dao fruits that can't be made into God pill, keep it yourselves. I was planning to collect enough Qian essence fruits and increase a few Dao essence divine emperors on our side, but now we can't do that. The 3 vice sect leaders lead the human race divine emperors back to the divine Dao realm and build the divine Dao sect." Su Feng asked in shock, "Did something happen?" Yi Mo said, "Not yet, but I guess soon." A halfway primordial essence came to the Aquarius race. He was very subtle, but I still noticed him. Halfway primordial essence. Some human divine emperors looked at each other. Halfway primordial essence was infinitely close to Dao vindication, 3rd step. If the difference between 1st step and 2nd step was a deep ravine, then the difference between 2nd and 3rd step was endless. Seeing them look worriedly, Yi Mo said calmly, "Don't worry. That half-primordial essence is watching me. As long as I don't go, they won't go. I've already borrowed a void ship from Xinghong. You can use it to go back to the divine Dao realm. I got 3 Qian essence fruit and a heaven martial void breaking fruit." Qin Xuanji was about to take out the Dao fruits. Yi Mo quickly said, "Keep the fruits on you. You only need one of the Qian essence fruit. See who else in the sect needs it and then make arrangements based on their contribution. Remember, if the Aquarius race really dares to attack the divine Dao realm, don't keep fighting if you can't beat them. One day we'll get back at them." Yi Mo made these arrangements and said to Qiao, "He immortal friends Qiao, if you trust me, then please go to the divine Dao realm. At the same time, give me the location of the Guanyuan Palace. After I'm done with things, I will go there and help with pill concoction. I will then go back to the divine Dao realm after finishing. Then you can leave the divine Dao realm. If it's fast, then it should be done in a decade. But even if it's slow, I wouldn't take more than 100 years. Qiao, he was helpless, but he knew that there was no way Yi Mo would go with him before he finished his things. He had been searching for a powerful pill divine for 2 millennia. It was impossible to find a powerful Dao essence pill divine like Yi Mo. Now that Yi Mo asked him to go to the divine Dao realm, it was clearly for him to help the human race. If he didn't agree, Yi Mo might not concoct pills for him. He had been with Yi Mo for a while and understood Yi Mo's character a little. Yi Mo wasn't even scared of Aquarius race. There was no way he would be scared of the Guanyuan Palace. Thinking about this, Qiao, he took out a jade bead and said, "This is a void location bead of the Guanyuan Palace. You can sense the palace from here in the void. The human divine emperors of the shop quickly left, and soon Yi Mo was alone. His spirit sense was watching the Aquarius race. He found that the Tao essence divine emperor and half primordial essence didn't leave and felt assured. Now that he was alone, my plan to let small ginseng or Chiu rang out to help. Small ginseng was ice ginseng king, but with countless Tao fruits here, small ginseng wouldn't cause people to fight over him immediately. But soon, Yi Mo found in joy that Mu Xiaoyan was out of solitary cultivation. She was Immortal Friend's peak stage now. The next thing for her was Tao vindication. Yi Mo had this many Tao fruit and chaos chi in the Golden Page world. There was no worries at all. Yi Mo immediately called out Mu Xiaoyan, and as soon as she came out, she came up and hugged Yi Mo tightly. Husband, I don't want to go into solitary cultivation again. It had been a torture for Mu Xiaoyan all these years in the time formation disk. With her talent and all these resources, she definitely didn't need all these years to reach Immortal Friend's peak stage, but she missed Yi Mo too much and would often wake up from solitary cultivation. She forced herself back into solitary cultivation. This was not the mindest for cultivation. Yi Mo felt this and patted her back. Don't worry, Xiaoyan, you won't need to anymore. Your Immortal Friend's peak stage, but your Tao heart isn't full. It's not good for Tao vindication. You can stay with me for a while before you vindicate Tao. MHM. Mu Xiaoyan was like a tame cat. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2188, Collect Tao Fruit Like Crazy. Chapter 2188, Collect Tao Fruit Like Crazy. When Yi Mo took Mu Xiaoyan out of the shop, there were nearly 100 people outside. Seeing this, Yi Mo rejoiced. He could tell they came out from the Tao Fruit Tower. They definitely came to sell or ask him for pill concoction. Husband, are we at the Void Marketplace? What square is this? Why are there so many people? Mu Xiaoyan asked in shock, seeing so many divine emperors squeezed here. This is Void Marketplace, Tao Fruit Tower Square. I'm going to go in for pill concoction. You stay out and help me collect Tao fruits and give out pills. Yi Mo said, Pill Divine Yi is what's on your tablet, true? I have 2 abstruse heaven fruit. I want to ask you to concoct abstruse heaven pill. Pill Divine Yi, I have a purple heaven Tao fruit. I want to trade for 5 God Cloud pill. Pill Divine Yi, most people trusted him as he had a stall here before. Immortal Friends, of course what's on Yi Mo's sign is true. Even if you just give me 1 Tao fruit and I destroyed it in pill concoction, I'll compensate you. Then Yi Mo continued, I'll put it out now, the number of pills per cauldron is 9. If it's 2 of the same Tao fruit, then you get 9 pills. If it's just 1 Tao fruit, then 4 pills. Remember to prepare the supplementary God Spirit herb yourselves. If I have to provide it, then you have to pay more God crystals or take less God pills. Yi Mo knew that in terms of buying with God crystals, he was probably the weakest here. Any merchant shop here had more God crystals than him. He probably only had about tens of billions, but any merchant shop here had more than 100 billion. He could only use God pill to get Tao fruits. With his current power, he can easily concoct 12 pills per cauldron. Saying 9 was still extremely amazing in the Void Marketplace. Usually, those who get 6 pills per cauldron were extremely powerful pill divines. Okay, I'll come first. I have 2 abstruse heaven fruits, the Tao Actualization Divine Emperor at the front said. Even if it was just 6 pills, he would accept without hesitation. Yi Mo took these 2 fruits and left things outside to Mu Xiaoyan. He went in first. Many people were here, but most of them just watched. Many people knew that Yi Mo was pill divine, but the Tao fruit was too precious. What if this person destroyed it? Even if they killed Mo, they wouldn't be able to get back their Tao fruits. Due to Mo's big sign and shocking content, more and more people came. There would be at least 4,000 to 5,000 Tao fruits each time the Tao fruit tower opened. Some people didn't want to waste time going to higher levels, so they would collect more numbers of low-level Tao fruits. Mo only used 5 minutes to finish a cauldron of abstruse heaven pill. Husband. Mu Xiaoyan saw Mo come out and stood by Mo nervously. She was Immortal Friend's peak stage, but no one here was Immortal Friends. They were all divine emperors. Pill divine Yi, how is it? The Tao actualization divine emperor asked nervously. Mo took out a jade bottle and said, "It's done, have a look." The Tao actualization divine emperor opened and poured out a pill. Then he said in shock, 9 extreme grade abstruse heaven pills. He had never expected for extreme grade God pills to appear. He would be able to accept even middle grade. He quickly put the pills into the jade bottle and then left the crowd without even saying thank you. Everyone nearby saw this immediately. Mu Xiaoyan immediately became busy. All sorts of Tao fruit were sent over. Some Tao fruit, not even from the Tao fruit tower, came. Tao fruits became Mo's and God pills stacked up in Mo's storage ring. The divine emperors left happily with their jade bottles. Later on, more and more people came to ask for pill concoction. Half a day had passed. Mo collected a few hundred Tao fruits. Xiaoyan, stop collecting Tao fruits. Mo told Mu Xiaoyan to stop. Mo could clearly feel many looks of animosity. Clearly, he overdid it. He collected that many Tao fruits all by himself. What would all the other shops and powers do? Plus, he felt he couldn't keep staying here. Mu Xiaoyan wasn't dumb. She was planning to remind Mo even if he didn't say it. Now that Mo said this, she gave the Tao fruits to Mo and stood on his side. Mo took out the God pills he concocted and gave them out. Then Mo saluted with his fists. Luo Yu Tao fruit shop is done buying now. Everyone please choose other shops. How can that do? It's not my turn yet? I didn't get a chance. I've been waiting for a long time. Pill divine Yi, what's going on? When Mo announced this, he clearly felt the killing intent chi dissipate by a lot. If Mo didn't slaughter the Aquarius race, there would have long been people to challenge Mo's stall. Mo said apologetically, "I've been concocting for half a day. My sea of consciousness isn't holding up." When would pill divine you begin pill concoction again? Some people immediately asked. I don't know. I'm going back for solitary cultivation. Maybe when I finish solitary cultivation. Mo's words disappointed a lot of people, making them regret not coming here earlier. It was normal for a Tao actualization divine emperor to go into solitary cultivation for a few 100,000 years. Who knew when he would come out? But no one dared to force Mo to concoct pills. Those divine emperors could only put away their Tao fruits. Wait! Just when Mo was about to pack up his stall, a heavy voice stopped him. It was a man wearing black robes and a hat. Mo could tell there was something with this hat. It was a top-level stealth magic artifact. What bewildered Mo was that this man's power fluctuated between Tao actualization and Tao essence. Mo guessed that this person could reach Tao essence at any time. "You're looking for me?" Mo asked. The man said heavily, "That's right. I have a business deal with you." Mo nodded. "Come in then." He looked at Mu Xiaoyan. "Xiaoyan, come in." "She stay outside. I came to talk to you alone." The man's voice went cold. Hearing this, Mo sneered. "Then don't talk about it. I'm going." Then Mo packed up the sign. If he didn't feel this man wasn't simple, Mo wouldn't even let him come in. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., Please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2189 Primordial Essence, Dusk Frui. Chapter 2189 Primordial Essence, Dusk Frui. This black-robed man didn't expect Yimo's attitude was this. Seeing Yimo start to pack away his sign, he could only say, if you're not scared of exposing it, then she can come in. The thing I'm going to discuss will definitely benefit you, but if it's exposed, it would bring lethal disaster. Sit down and talk. Yimo pointed at a chair. He was a bit curious what would benefit him. The man sat down and took out a jade box onto the table and said, "Have a look at this first." Yimo opened the jade box. A powerful world opening primordial essence. Chi came into his face. Yimo's spirit sense saw that it was a faint purple fruit in the jade box. Yimo closed the jade box and looked at this man in shock. This is Dao Fruit Tower Level 9 Primordial Essence, Dusk Fruit. Seeing Yimo was only a little shocked, the man nodded with approval. That's right. This is Primordial Essence, Dusk Fruit. This was a Primordial Essence, Dao Fruit. It could allow a Dao Essence learn the third step. One of this was invaluable, and yet this man could get one. Yimo was shocked, but Yimo wasn't going to rely on Dao Fruit to vindicate Dao. I've heard the Primordial Essence, Dusk Fruit, never appeared. How did you get it? Yimo asked. This Dao Fruit was attractive, but not something Yimo would do anything for. The man said, "Of course I got it in the Dao Fruit Tower. There's no wonder that the fruit hasn't appeared before. There's a secret in the Dao Fruit Tower. That is, those who picked Dao Fruit in the previous 8 levels wouldn't be able to get to the Nineth level no matter how strong they are. So, if you want to pick the Nineth level fruit, you must not pick any Dao fruit from level 1 to 8. Yimo realized. No wonder. How did you know? Yimo subconsciously asked. The man said, slowly. How I know isn't important. What's important is if you're interested in it or not. If you are, we can deal. What do you want? 11 Yimo asked. I heard you're a Dao Essence, Pill Divine. Did you concoct the cosmic Dao pill that appeared in the Void marketplace before? The black-robed divine emperor asked and seemed a little nervous. Yimo nodded indeed. I knew it. The man's face suddenly became excited and then asked, Do you have more cosmic Dao pill? Then, as though fearing Yimo would deny, he added, The Void marketplace merchant tower got 6 and sold it all out. I've been watching you for a while. I know that each cauldron you definitely have more than 9 pills. This means that you have more than 3 cosmic Dao pills on you. You're planning to use Primordial Essence, Dusk Fruit to get my cosmic Dao pills. Yimo realized but was extremely shocked. 1 Primordial Essence, Dusk Fruit, was countless times more precious than cosmic Dao pill. This person was about to reach Dao Essence, Divine Emperor. Was he dumb to do this deal? Yimo scanned his spirit sense on this black-robed man, and moments later, Yimo realized this person probably had some problems breaking through to Dao Essence. He wasn't Dao Actualization nor Dao Essence. He was in quite an awkward predicament. If he couldn't solve this problem quickly, his foundation would collapse and he would never be able to progress. Compared to the Qian Essence fruit, the cosmic Dao pill had something more precious. Because it was concocted from cosmic lotus, it had this void space Dao wave. This Dao wave would allow the user to remove unnecessary learnings before they learn Dao Essence Dao. It would allow the user's Dao to be in this void state and then learn Dao Essence. The Qian Essence fruit allowed one to feel the Dao Essence Dao at Dao Actualization peak stage level. This black-robed man, for some reason, learned partial Dao Essence Dao wave before he was ready. This Dao wave wasn't something he needed, so he needed the cosmic Dao pill to remove this unnecessary learning and learn Tao essence again. Realizing this, Yi Mo didn't feel strange. This person was like someone who was about to die of thirst in the desert. If he was to choose between 1 kg of water and 1 kg of gold, he would definitely choose water. The man returned to being calm and said, "That's right. I do want to use the primordial essence, dusk fruit, to exchange for your cosmic Tao pill. Of course, you know the value primordial essence, dusk fruit, is countless times better than the cosmic Tao pill, so you need to make some compensations too." Yi Mo didn't speak. If this person wasn't so desperately after the cosmic Tao pill, he would be willing to make some compensations, but now he didn't. Yi Mo wanted to use the primordial essence, dusk fruit, to trade for 1 cosmic Tao pill. Seeing Yi Mo not talk, the black-robed man said, "Give me 10 billion God crystals and 50 Tao fruits, as well as 2 cosmic Tao pills." Yi Mo almost laughed in anger. This guy really dared to ask. "Don't you think your request is too absurd?" Yi Mo sneered. The man said, "No. Why are primordial essence divine emperors so rare? It's because they have no fortune. This Tao fruit is the fortune. Those who want to become primordial essence divine emperor would pay many times more just to get the Tao fruit." The man's tone changed. "I know you're strong, but if I spread the word pill divine, you got a primordial essence, dusk fruit, do you know the consequences? Even if you don't have it, those halfway primordial essence wouldn't let you go simply." "You're threatening me?" Yi Mo's tone went cold. The man didn't care. "If you think I'm threatening you, then it is." "Oh, in that case, when I go out, I'll say you have at least 2 primordial essence, dusk fruit. Wouldn't you be facing greater danger than me?" Yi Mo said. The black-robed man said, "Without fear, go ahead, no one knows who I am." Yi Mo laughed. "No one knows who you are." Even if you didn't care about the first 8 levels, not anyone can get into the 9th level. Tao actualization and want to get to the 9th level. I can't find anyone else other than top 3 of God rank. From your looks, I'm guessing you're Taishu Sure, God rank number 1. Then Yi Mo suddenly got up. "Perhaps I can go say it now." "Leave. I'm going to pack up my stall and promote this news." Seeing Yi Mo leave without even looking at the primordial essence, dusk fruit, the black-robed man was worried. He quickly got up and gritted his teeth. "I'll trade with you. 1 primordial essence, dusk fruit, for 1 cosmic Tao pill." Yi Mo looked calmly at him. "When did I tell you I was going to do that? The primordial essence, dusk fruit, doesn't have much use for me. If you want to say I have it, then go ahead." "Huh." The black-robed man was truly worried this time. Yi Mo didn't want to take such huge advantage. The man calmed down quickly. He realized he was no match for this pill divine, Yi, in terms of business. Thinking about this, he said, "Genuinely, I was Tao actualization peak stage, and when I entered the 9th level, I was infected by the primordial essence, dusk fruit tree's primordial essence chi. I was automatically going to learn the Tao waves. If my foundation wasn't deep, I would underscurvy exploded from the Tao Chi. I underscurvy suppressed it, but I am now at a state where I can't reach Tao essence. I can only use the cosmic Tao pill to remove the messy Tao Chi." It was just as he guessed. Yi Mo thought to himself, this 9th level was so powerful. It seemed that even if he went, he probably couldn't escape such fate. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.